am just a man until I put my badge and uniform on. At that point I'm right and you know you're wrong. And we don't get to choose which laws I enforce and you obey. I'm sorry it has to be this way. You don't know how many times I ask myself why. I give you a lawful order and you just don't comply. But if you just stop resisting, oh, I would not do this thing, oh. It's not murder when I do it, so why'd you have to put me through it? Sorry that you're dead. When I said start walking backward towards me on one elbow, you couldn't do that for me. So what can I do now? I'm not worried about the investigation, but I had no plans for this paid vacation. It hurts me so, I just don't know why people keep on talking trash. I'm just trying to protect and serve and maybe grab some cash. But if you just stop resisting, oh, maybe stop and listen, oh. Yes, you died in our altercation, but I'm the real victim in the situation. If you just stop resisting, oh, I would not be listening, oh. It's not murder when I do it, but why'd you have to put me through it?
It's Friday night.
It
and
is.
we have Vermin Supreme on the show this evening.
Wow.
Super excited that he's coming back to chat with us. It's going to be awesome. So glad you guys are here. Happy Friday.
Welcome
April
to Liberty
10th.
Late Night.
Yes, sorry, Liberty Late Night. Yep, that's the
Dave.
show. Hi, Ariane. How you doing? Hi, Alicia. Ben, Caleb, Ray, Aaron, Trey, Keith. What's up? David Andrew Gay having a big old birthday tomorrow. Want to wish you a happy early birthday because you're going to be the big 39.
Hello.
You're almost going to be 40. So, is Lyle here? Did I see Lyle's
Yeah,
name?
he's in
Hi.
there.
Hi, Laura.
So, Ray.
Juan, what's up? Everything's flying by really fast. Anna, or is it Anna? Sorry if I say Anna or Anna. You just let me know.
There's one.
Oh,
Hello, Juan.
I love that. I just walk around the house saying that. Hello, Juan. Ryan, what's going on? Sean. All the names are flying. Did I say Ben White yet? Hi, Ben. Adam, Seko-san, how are you? Yes.
Where's Kentner? Oh,
He
there he is.
is
He
there.
here.
Yep. He gets one too.
He gets one too.
Thank you for liking the stream.
You done messed up, AA Ron!
And I got a new
Yes.
one for Aaron. Where did I put that?
Oh,
one?
the 1981 Club. Yes. I'm a classic 1980 girl.
Remember while we're here.
Leave a like if you are depressed.
Oh! That's awesome. I did not know he did that.
There we go.
That's so
Yeah, I
great.
threw
Hi,
that.
Jess Mears. Caleb in the house. David Lent. Props to David Lent, man. He got our guest yesterday laughing like mid-comment. Well, it was
His wife, yeah.
John McAfee's wife was reading the comments while John was talking, and then she started laughing because David Lent made a comment about like an anal probe or something. She just started laughing, which is I know that everybody tries to do that to us, you know.
Yeah.
So
Get us to crack.
yeah, get us to crack.
So,
Oh, Caleb wants some Will Smith.
Woo! We're excited.
Yes, Donnie Smith, how are you? How are things in Florida? Hot? Wonderful? Corona?
Wow, we got numbers?
Oh my gosh, what?
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Aaron Kentner, some kind of a anomaly
Oh my
of
goodness, I didn't
Facebook
even- Yay.
coding that he's not allowed to be a top fan of Liberty Late Night on
No
Facebook.
matter what that man does, I
He
feel
comments
so
more-
bad.
And they will not give him a top fan badge. And I swear
Yep.
I have never
Thanks,
taken
Laura.
one. I can't give him on the page. So
Yeah, they won't.
so he was depressed in the comments today. So I made
Yeah.
that button for him.
Oh, I know. He's so sad about it. I would be too, man. Because he does so much commenting and talking and hanging out, and you would think that Facebook would recognize him, but I don't know. That's crazy.
Really? Oh my
wow.
gosh, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, welcome to any of the new folks who are here watching with us tonight.
Probably open Skype.
This is what we do. We hang out for just a little bit, and then
Say
we
hi to our
bring
friends.
on our guest, and we have a few drinks, you know. I mean, the guest is optional to drink if he or she wants to, but Dave and I definitely do.
Yeah, we'll drink.
Yeah, so it's a big week.
As long as we got one person to talk to, that's kind of how we started.
Yeah. If there's one person in the comment section or one person
We'll hang
watching. Otherwise, we'd probably still just stream it anyway. Like, Dave and I just like to just sit and chat. And...
Well, we did do that group bouncing that one time, and we went to some group and started streaming there, and nobody showed up, so we were like ran out of stuff to talk about.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm great. It's hot. I've done nothing about Rona. Are you still working, Donnie? How shut down is Florida right now? I like y'all, but I might say something. That's okay.
If you're hearing the chiming, I don't know how they go. If they go across, I haven't been able to capture the audio, but
Oh.
it's the people liking the stream and,
People
and
liking
sharing.
or sharing. Yeah.
That's where the name pops up at the bottom.
And
Wait, did
I'm
it just
like,
say
wait,
we
is
already
that
hit
me? Yes, we did. Where's
100?
Vermin? He'll be
Okay.
here. He'll be here in just a little bit. We just sent him a wave over there on Skype,
Yeah,
and
it's a last minute guy.
yeah,
I
we
told him,
usually.
I
Did
told
you
him
guys do a test?
9:45.
Okay.
No, we didn't do a test, but
Okay.
so it'll be a
9:45.
mess when it comes in, but we'll get it going.
That's okay. It's a beautiful mess. So 5 more minutes. So, is there any other news that isn't?
Sure.
We want Vermin. Oh, hey, Vistilis, how are you? Who likes the stream? Oh, do you guys not
Stop
like the
it.
sound?
Get some help.
Yes, he's coming. He's coming. We told him 9:45. So, what other news is happening besides coronavirus? Because Bernie dropped out. We talked about that just a smidge yesterday.
Vermin Supreme beat Bernie
Did
Sanders.
did Bernie really drop out? I saw he was kind of wishy-washy about it afterwards.
Oh,
Like-
yeah, it was,
like, well, I didn't
it's
really mean it.
complicated.
Like, it's complicated.
Yeah, usually this little thing doesn't go off that often, so people don't notice the sound.
Oh, okay. You're working. Only the shitties. The cities are shut down. That's why I'm not a news reporter.
I don't even know where that audio
He's
is
saying all
going
kinds
to
of
in my
stuff. Yeah.
router.
Thanks,
Turn it
Ryan.
down.
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to read a few of these comments here.
What's up, Brian?
Vermin is
Jive
your
Pickle?
rival.
Nice.
What? Here's how Bernie can still win, right? Hi, Shillelagh, how are you?
He's gonna focus on the
Oh,
Corona.
focus on
I'm
Corona.
gonna focus on this
I
Four
hope he doesn't
Loko.
focus too close to it.
Tonight's stream
Like-
brought to you by Four Loko.
Four Loko and Guinness.
Because
and
Pennsylvania
Yuengling.
doesn't have open liquor stores, and I got a high tolerance.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, this is wild.
Yeah, it is. So we got, like I said, we got to wave into him. Yes, for Lojo? Logo. You're a scientist with real world solutions. Okay. Feel free to share. Go for it. Let's see. Shirley Kentner subs to Vermin. Oh, that's right. On the TikTok.
On the TikTok.
Gosh, I say it
Subs
like
to him
that.
on the
like,
TikTok.
On the TikTok and the YouTube.
You know, no, John sent me a message about the TikTok. Says the Chinese is spying on us on the TikTok.
Bernie Boy should join Team Supreme. I like that name. Yeah.
Team Supreme.
Yeah. Wow. Nice job, David.
A little bit. No, it ain't, Jim.
Let's see. Alcohol addiction is no joke. No, it is not. You're right. It's absolutely
Not as bad as
not.
nicotine, though. Wow.
I think. Hey, Jamie Pyle, how you doing?
I mean, it affects you different.
How do I rewatch? Go to on our page right here on Facebook or on our YouTube channel.
Or Twitch. Or
Twitch,
Mixer,
yeah. I don't know that they save it on there, though.
Oh, yeah, Twitch. I don't know how to save
rewatch.
stuff on Twitch.
So you can rewatch it on our YouTube channel, Liberty Late Night,
Well, that
or
reminds me, I want to
you
record
can
this. I'm going to start recording.
you can or you can watch it on Facebook on our page. So either way, it was surprising. I mean, we really, even at the half-hour mark, you know, Dave was like, "Okay, I know that you're a busy man, and you know, a half hour was what he had agreed to and everything." And then he brought Janice on and started talking, and then it was like 2 hours, just like that, So, yes, Team Supreme,
Wait, we're
right?
having a random chimp event.
Wait, what? Chimp event? What, are we joking here? Well, let's talk about that for just a second. I mean, for the folks who, do you have the link that you can put into the comment section? Because, and Vermin might talk about it, but
Yeah, he probably will.
joining the Libertarian Party through Vermin's link here, or even if just renewing, I think is what I read. We'll plop the link now, unless you don't want to. Maybe we can plop it in a little bit.
Oh, that's us. Okay.
Yeah, I just shared a bunch of.
Hey, thanks for the
Yeah.
subscription.
Thank you so much.
Joey.
Yeah, it's not
Joe.
TikTok.
On the
I don't know
TikTok.
how to operate TikTok. Let's see.
I had the app on my tablet since it was Musically, and I tried doing like some
Sure
music
doing that thing
videos
again.
that like 5-second lip sync things that
Yeah, it
and I
was
lost
fun.
interest, and then all of a sudden I look at my tablet and I got a TikTok on there.
Yes.
Is that right? That's way too long. That's not right.
That's not the right link? Okay, well, we're going to get it up here
But,
anyway. And, oh, where's my car?
So, yeah, then all of a sudden I had
He can
TikTok.
quote.
And then TikTok kind of took over for Vine, which we used to like some Vines. What's up, Carl? Hey, Shillelagh's here.
Sounds really good, yeah.
Andrew, we need
Thanks,
ponies.
Joey.
You're gonna need your pony with you at all times.
All the time.
Depends on what timeline we end up in. But I'm hoping, so far this has been a crazy timeline, and I can't imagine it ending any different than Vermin Supreme as president.
Ponies for my homies. Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm waiting for him to respond on Skype.
On Skype, yes. So we're super excited. Is Desiree here? Did I see her in the comments, or is she on
The
Facebook?
chiming noises. Let me.
Dave's gonna try to work on
If I can find out where they're coming from, I could just hide them, I think. But I don't want to hide people's stuff.
I know, right?
Let me see. Okay, that comes through the mic.
Ryan's like, the chiming noises really need to
I don't
stop.
see where it's coming from. It's not going through my OBS. It's going through my speaker system.
Okay.
It's got to be here.
Thank you. I feel like David. Oh no, I was gonna say I feel like he did that to irritate Ryan, but no, he probably just did it because he wants to share the stream for realsies. Thank you.
I don't even know where that would go. And I feel like I'm clicking buttons, and I'm afraid.
He's doing it again.
I don't know how to make it stop.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, it's happening.
So, in just a minute, Dave's gonna bring Vermin on here. Are we doing this like live?
Yeah, we're going in
There's
hot.
the boot.
Hold on a second.
Oh, I gotta turn your thing off here. Hi.
Hold on, I gotta find my buttons. Caught me off guard.
Where's your button?
Where's
There we go.
Where's your button?
That looks
Did you
pretty
find
good.
your button?
super
Did you find the right button?
Yeah, and
gotta
I think
turn
the
this
audio's
up
going through.
Can everybody hear everybody? Can you hear us? Can the audience hear you?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Am I there? Hello? Am I on TV now?
I think you're
Are
on.
we on television?
Here he is.
Dude, your crowd is nuts in here. They
Oh my
started
gosh.
chanting.
Yes.
Anybody?
Can you
Anyways,
turn up his volume just a smidge for me? Or maybe I'll just put my other earbud
where
in. Hold
is
on.
my?
Let's see.
There we go.
Sounds
We got to bring it in
good.
properly. There we
Well,
go.
that's better.
Okay.
Oh, I like the static. That was pretty exciting.
Everybody, Vermin Supreme.
Yes. Back
We didn't
again
have
to
to tell you.
chat. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming back on today.
Oh, thanks for having me back. It's been a while.
It has.
How is everybody?
We're doing well. We are doing well as you can in quarantine, you know, or
Quarantine.
what do we call it? House arrest? Yes. You've been sharing some
Whoa.
beautiful
I've
videos.
hold on. I've got a feedback loop going on here. I think
Okay.
I have another open window.
Oh, maybe. I think I hear a little bit of it.
Me. Hold on. Yeah, it's confusing me to no end. Okay, that's better. I'm not hearing that lag time. It was like a
Okay.
long distance phone call.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was causing cognitive dissonance. It was very confusing.
Is that what it was?
Although there's still a lag time in the video because like I'm waving my hands now, but it takes a while to wave over there. So
Just a little
very
bit.
yeah,
It's exciting.
It is.
Crazy.
it is. I
technical-
wave my hands, I take them away, and then they appear. It's like freaking me out, man. It's crazy.
Try not to look at it.
Yeah.
The stream looks great, though.
Better smoke some more weed, maybe. Maybe that would
that'll
help.
straighten
Do
out.
it. Absolutely.
You need to lag yourself a little.
Yeah, not so much of a drinker, but I'm quite the weed head. You know that.
Nice.
I
In
wish.
fact, during this, I've been doing a lot of those debates back when we used to have public gatherings and conventions and that type of thing.
Yeah. Seems
And
like a long
I
time ago.
believe that I can say with complete and utter confidence that I vaped more weed during the debates than any other candidate.
Awesome. during the
During.
live debate.
During, and I don't think it impacted my my performance one bit, not at all.
That's great. Oh, I love that so much.
Hopefully that.
Dave's job doesn't allow for
Yeah.
him to use any of the.
Yeah, I can get
Oh,
random.
that's
testing
very
and stuff.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
It
It
is.
is. It really is. Because I'd much rather.
Like he could go out and
Alcohol's so violent.
do a bunch of cocaine this weekend and go back to work on Monday and not and pee fine, clean, like smoke a little bit of weed and you're
messed up for a
yeah,
month.
you're the whole month you got to be nervous if someone's going to run
That's
into you. or
very
something.
unfortunate.
It is. It really, really is. Yeah.
What state is that?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. And what's the weed law like there?
We have medical.
hmm
Medical.
Yeah, and I don't know if every state when they say medical if there's different levels. Here it's if,
Medical, but you can never buy a gun again.
exactly, pretty much. Never, and it's only a few things. Like cancer. You have like a titanium leg or something. It's very specific on what it is. So.
May I comment on that?
Please, absolutely.
That's bullshit.
Right?
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to state firmly where I stood on that particular issue, and it's definitely bullshit.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Well, yeah, without a doubt. We know where you stand. It is amazing. Now, what do you think about Bernie? Saying that he's taking a little hiatus from the race.
Well, that's a damn shame. Sorry to hear it. Sorry to see him go. I mean, I will say that just as in 2016, I was looking forward to that matchup, that Trump-Sanders matchup, because I believe as far as electoral demolition derby politics go, that would have been a very exciting head-to-head race. And I suspect he might have even been the president if he were the nominee in 2016. I mean,
It would have been interesting. Yeah.
it could have happened. So this time it's it's just more of the same. It's like every 4 years I tell the kids, all these shiny new kids who come up and are all excited about this candidate or that candidate. It's like, well, tell you what, why didn't you get back to me in 4 years, and we'll see how you feel then. But this time, I was just telling them from the get-go during the New Hampshire primary, and I was telling the supporters of all the candidates, the Yang supporters and the Tulsi supporters, and like when the DNC screws your candidate, I will be here for you. Remember us and come look at us, and that's been proven to be true. We've had a couple Yang staffers gravitate to our side.
Okay.
I had heard we had an Amy Klobuchar staffer coming our way. So there's there, and of course, as soon as Bernie dropped out, there's just a huge tidal wave of supporters of his, former supporters of his, that were definitely coming my way, and that in itself is very interesting. I mean, why would these socialist punk ass kids be coming over to my libertarian ass? I don't know exactly, but there's something going on there. I think it's bigger than minor political disagreements, perhaps, and that it's the kids are really fed up with that sort of can I say that word again? Bullshit.
Yes, please.
Because I think the kids are just had enough of that. After that last time and this time, and their guy ain't getting in because of the. Well, I think it just makes it loud and clear that the duopoly has a stranglehold on the process and is not going to give the people what they want, unless of course it's Donald Trump. In that case, I guess that everybody did get what they wanted in that case. So,
that's democracy, and they got it good and hard.
Happy days are here again. Thank you.
People are asking.
Up the screen. What's going on here, man?
Oh, it's great. You should braid it. Braid it.
Aaron will show you. Two tight little braids.
Aaron Kentner will show you.
Here, I'll stick it through the screen and.
Awesome. Well, people are asking if you would line of Trump.
Vermin Supreme beard grooming products. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Oh, that's exciting.
You got to diversify.
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, I decided to start wearing my beard in a different way. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to start doing it like the handlebar mustache type of thing. I think that'll do something.
Now I've noticed this time you're running a little bit more serious campaign. Like I saw you on a debate stage with no boot on your head.
Oh well, what do you want?
The Lorax, that's what that is.
I mean, come on now. These committees, these. Well, I don't want to start like ranting and railing and raving, and I certainly don't want to name anybody by name or any state libertarian party by state, but several of these states, and I think they know who they are, actually put forth as a condition for taking part in the actual debate a prohibition on novelty headwear.
There's a couple of candidates too that fall into that.
It is. It was specifically crafted against those of us who believe that headwear is a very important part of our First Amendment message. I don't believe the irony was lost on anyone, quite frankly, and I understand that some people still cling to the concept of respectability politics and want to put forth as a more professional type of wingnut, if you will. And so I was a little miffed at first. I will tell you that. When one of the first debates that we were going to attend made that clear, at the time we were pretty much like, fuck that shit, it was like no. I mean, what's that all about? But after, that was just the initial shock of like such an outrageous demand. Yes. So after some thought, I said, well, I don't really need the boot. I mean, it is a magical boot.
It is.
It's a thinking boot. It definitely helps me, focus down all the knowledge from the cosmos into my brain. So I think I was at a certain distinct disadvantage when I was not wearing it on my noggin during these particular debates. But once again, the power and the magic is not in my boot. And I believe that's what the people thought, that they could somehow like
Yeah.
cut Samson's hair
I
and
was just
it would
gonna say
take away all his strength or something. And, the boot is, it's detachable. Come on, let's when I do it like that, it looks like I'm bald, so it has a reason for it. But I got hair under there. It's not a big deal.
Mhm.
But I know, ultimately, it's the fans that love the boot.
the boot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
the people, I was nobody. No one cared who I was
Until I
until
wore the boot.
I wore the boot. Yes. Oh, you saw that movie? Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I know the memes.
Art.
Yeah, people got to
That's
realize
the-
it's 2020. That gorilla died. All bets are
Transcends,
off.
Yeah.
original. Yes. Cool like that.
Now, what is happening now with debates in the race and everything? I mean, we're all locked down. Nobody's allowed to get
Yes,
together.
well, the last debate we had was in Illinois. That was the last time that all of the candidates were together under one roof, at two sets of tables, and I believe it was like March 12th. So it was like right before people really started freaking really hard.
Yeah.
In fact, we were sharing a microphone. We were passing a microphone back and up and down the line.
Probably shaking hands.
In retrospect, that was there. Well, I was doing the elbow bump at that point.
Oh, you were.
But on the other hand, it was a really nice visit to Chicago too, because most of the times, I've been to hundreds of these conventions and debates, and almost every time it was airport, get picked up at the airport, go to the hotel, and not get out of the hotel for the weekend and back to the airport. But I had a free day when I was in Chicago, and my hosts were very gracious, and they wanted me to take me out to a little nightlife. And so we went to this heavy metal rock and roll bar, and then we went out to this fetish night at a goth club, and I was doing a little live streaming, and I was even joking. It's like, hey kids, if I get COVID, it was right here. And,
Oh my God.
at a time where I actually, and sure, it was all fun and games back then, but then I got home and my wife put me in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Did she?
And some people were just taking it much more seriously than others, it seems, until
Yes.
a certain level of a fear-based reality sunk into the population that at any moment, anything that you could touch, a doorknob, a gas pump handle, money, could be your doom, and not just yours, but those of your loved ones.
Your whole family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Mom and dad.
that's some sobering ass shit, man. That's a you know what that is? Can I say it?
Yeah.
That's a real buzzkill.
It really is.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? A real buzzkill.
And I was an essential employee.
It's,
And I
really putting a cramp in my lifestyle.
Mhm.
I said I've never been this aware of my hand since the last time I experimented with LSD.
Don't touch your face.
True. Not touch eye. It might be on my hand. Do
Yeah.
not scratch. No orifice. No orifice. Well, I guess you could get it in some orifices, really, because it's a respiratory disease.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter if you got it in some other. Well, never mind. Anyway,
That's a
we're
long
talking
trip.
about how the COVID has affected the political landscape during the convention season, and I believe it's adversely affected it. You can argue if you want, but I think it's adversely affected our ability to convene and debate. We have now. There's the online debates, and they're okay. They're fun, but there's so much to attending a live convention and meeting the delegates and addressing their concerns. Because it's I've been stumping for campaigning for over a year now, and and even now, at some of these conventions I would go to, people were still confusing me with the meme. You know, they were still confused that I was my character, and all of those things. They just hadn't seen that I've gone legit, man. I mean, I think we can all agree that I'm a lot less funny. I'm a lot more serious. The libertarians have really sucked the fucking joy out of my boot.
Quote him on that.
You know,
I love it.
but it's added a new dimension to what I do.
Sure.
It just really forced me to expand. You know, this whole new character, serious Vermin without the boot on his head. You know, it's forcing me to expand my boundaries and really, you know, look at it and try and and understand what I'm trying to communicate and what it might take to do that. You know, I think the initial thought was, oh, if he takes the boot off, you know, he ain't no thing, or if he takes the boot off. But I feel like I've been holding my own. I've been enjoying the debate formats very much, and you know, it's just a whole new thing. You know, I've never. Once again, the parody has extended. I mean, now I'm a real politician. You know, now I'm really a politician. Not some performance artist guy pretending to be a politician.
Yeah, the
Now I'm
caricature.
actually a really real politician, and but I'm still me. So it's weird. But it's okay. And the fact that I was, you know, legitimately recruited, and the fact that I legitimately have so many wonderful principled libertarians on my campaign staff from the left and from the right leanings of the party. You know, that's just what that does. It just shows me that it's a serious thing that I'm doing, and that we are doing together as a campaign. It really,
Yeah,
you know,
I know a
it,
lot of your team.
Yeah.
it's total validation. And I never, and you know, that's the only thing that I can possibly gauge it upon. You know, I mean, I guess you can say, oh, it's successful because it generates so much controversy and pissy hate online, but that's just a vocal minority. And then you know, I respect the fact that that vermin derangement syndrome is real. It's some people are just triggered beyond all compare at the thought that I could be the nominee, the candidate, the you know, the best possible nominee for the party.
Now,
You know, and you know, the people on my staff, and they believe, they do believe it is the way. This is a way. This is the way. And who am I to dissuade them? You know, they asked me. I agreed to do this, and so I will absolutely follow through 100%, right through the general, if that's the way. Did I see the word penis flash on stage?
a lot of weird stuff comes up. Somebody's trapped in a vacuum and is asking for suggestions. My
I know
suggestions
some weird
don't.
thing show up on the.
Damn it! I thought
So,
I.
yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. You know, it sounds as if with I mean, ultimately, in a perfect world, you know, we will have a live convention. I mean, oh, excuse me. Oh my God!
Oh yeah, it's Rona's acting up.
Yeah. So, in a perfect world, yes, we would meet. We would be face to face, and that's where I do my best work. I think when I'm talking to the people directly and showing them what I really am all about and stuff. But in the meantime, I just try and shove the "Who is Vermin Supreme" movie down their throat. So
Last
there's
time
that.
you read some of your book for us. Do you have that handy? Would you like to?
I do. I do have that. You know, and I started watching. I started skimming through the last time I was on back in January of last year, and it was like, God damn, I have nothing left to talk about. I said everything.
It was great.
And all the things I say. What else could I put? I got nothing left.
It was.
But yes, I'd be more than happy to read you.
But real quick, I wanted to say about the
So
party.
go
Like,
ahead. Yes,
do you think that the Libertarian Party is going to do like party stuff like the other parties do? Do you think they'll let something like this happen?
Well, the duopoly is, of course, chuckling their fool heads off as all our ballot access efforts have been essentially nullified at this point. And they're just, totally doesn't seem that they really care that all these. how do you read and talk at the same time?
It's tricky. Yeah, mostly I just read and
guys
listen.
practice at that. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I think I trust that what the bylaws allow the party to do. I mean, from my current understanding, if there is no live convention with a quorum, the LNC itself, the committee has the option and perhaps the duty to name the nominee amongst themselves. If that were to be the case, then the ideas that are getting floated include some sort of virtual convention with straw polls, and see how the delegates go with it, and then ultimately the LNC might verify the leanings or the feelings of the people. But of course, at this point, there's so much lobbying yet to be done. There's many delegates yet to be called. At this point, I think that's what it's going to take as far as campaigning for delegates. It's going to take a lot of outreach and personal contact with the peeps, and really trying to convince them. And absolutely. And of course, the social media. Now, as far as campaigning goes, of course, I think my massive social media following, it gives me a serious leg up on pretty much all the other candidates. My reach is pretty outrageous. For the past since Bernie dropped out the other day, there's just been a steady Twitter stream of people committing to vote for me and join the campaign and whatever. It could be just talk, but it's a serious tidal wave of interest, and some people are coming on over.
Actually, we have a graph for that, I think.
Oh yeah, you're in the lead for.
You have a link that's to the Libertarian Party for people that are joining. I'm covering your face with it right now, but that's Vermin Supreme at the end here.
With the most, he's the winner so far. So
the most money.
Oh yeah, that's a fun little contest, and you're welcome to join. I mean, I know the times are tough right now for a lot of people, but if you got the $25 to join the Libertarian Party and want to use that particular link, it is a contest. They just sort of sprung it out of nowhere and wanted to see who could raise the most new recruits for the party. And in short order, I guess I'm averaging about 10 a day, or maybe 8 a day, or whatever. It's still not too shabby. And nobody else is really pushing it hard or something. But so far I'm dominating, as I do tend to dominate all online polls. That's simply a fact. Awesome. I mean, there was a recent one that I did not dominate in, but I considered a proof of concept. I get the Twitter site, but it had a sample size of like 14,000 people, and I got I think 12% compared to Joe Biden's 7% or something. But I definitely beat Biden in a pretty reasonably sized poll. So I do pretty good no matter what the size of the poll is. Usually I come out on top. But so there is that. I've got I just reached 100,000 followers on my Facebook.
Awesome.
So that's a metric. That's a little bit of a metric.
Yeah. That is.
I've got well, I guess I've accumulated over 1 million likes, but that's on my homepage, so that doesn't really count. I've got 130 plus TikTok followers now.
We were just talking about
our friend
TikTok.
Aaron said that his daughter is following you on TikTok, and he wanted you to know that.
Yes.
Very good. Well, yes. Me and the Chinese, we're all in it together. We're all in it together.
You're collecting my data.
He didn't say no. No, I'm just joking.
That's pretty fun. I haven't gotten too political on that one, but I reserve the option. And and my Twitter's been bumping up. I've got that by hundreds and thousands. I've got 53,000 on that. And now, if you want to have some real fun, do the Google search comparisons.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yes, just sort of compare me to any of the other possible candidates that we got in the race, just for comparison. I don't want to embarrass anybody or anything. I'm just saying it's there.
Yeah, you've been building a foundation for over a decade.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yep. And I think people who are following you are dedicated, and I mean the folks that were in here immediately waiting for you to come on, they're like, just bring Vermin.
Yeah, they were sick of us talking.
Yeah, it's like I just said hi.
Like, whatever, lady, where's Vermin?
Yeah.
So with a little bit of luck, I'll be able to turn it all into like a rabid cult of personality, if you will, and
That's how we got Trump.
And set them loose on the world or something.
Right.
Yeah.
It would
Hopefully
be cool
not.
to see.
I'll tell you, when I first got viral back in 2012, I attracted a lot of trolls immediately. Decided that I was their troll king or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and it was a little scary because there's a lot of scary trolls out there.
There is.
And this one young woman, she probably like 13 years old, decided it would be funny to put out a video on her YouTube channel that said "Vermin Supreme is stupid." Cute. I mean, granted. And so, as is her right to say that, I don't even think she was terribly serious, but I shared it on my Facebook page just because I thought it was cute, and she immediately got attacked by hordes
Oh no.
of horrible people, and she ended up having to delete her page, and I was communicating with her mother, apologizing profusely for such a terrible turn of events, because she's obviously a talented young person who wanted to express herself and thought that was a great topic, and it was a little contrary thing, but so yeah, you got to be careful with who you attract, and as I'm becoming a little more famous, I'm definitely occasionally not very very recently, in fact, somebody pointed out to me that somebody had Vermin 2020 on their little Twitter bio or whatever, and they were a pretty sketchy, sort of horrible person, and so I called that person out a little bit, and not even heavily, or I was just commenting to the person who pointed it out to me and said, well, that's terrible, I don't stand for that, and I immediately stirred up one of those little Nazi hives, one of those little fascist, those edgy ass fucking shitlord kids, and they start swarming, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? It's
like
really pretty weird.
I feel like
weird
we're
world we
playing
live
with
in
fire a little
here on
bit.
the internet.
Sometimes, yeah. That's crazy though. Like,
Yeah.
poor little girl.
Yeah, I felt so terrible. It was like, gosh. Now I think people do that. It's not such a big deal, but at that moment in time, that particular section of the audience was quite rabid and protective.
Sure.
I think they've gotten over that shit, I hope.
Yeah, it's weird when you
They're
don't
very
notice your
protective.
influence. Like you don't know it yet, and you're just
Oh yeah,
freely
no.
saying-
Now I see. It's like I got some fans in some weird places. When I was out in Arizona, I met some fans, some nice kids, and like we get a little chatty. And where do you stand politically? The opposite of you. It's like, really? Yeah, we're Maoists. It's like, okay. Nice kids. They were Maoists, but they were fans of mine. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
I tried to tell them, maybe you don't need a state to get rid of a state, but I mean,
the only solution is a stronger state.
and yeah, so it's like some really hard right and hard left weird support, but thank goodness for the middle. Thank goodness for the middle of reasonable people who do support me and do believe that we can use humor as a weapon against the duopoly and against the status quo.
It's a weaponized meme.
Yeah, so it's got some serious potential. But let us read a little bit from my book, Vermin Supreme, iPony, Blueprint for a New America.
This is always exciting.
I enjoy this.
Story time. How this deranged hobo made it all the way into the White House was still not completely understood. This book is available on iPonythebook.com. Sometimes it's on our gift shop, but I don't think it is right
I
now.
like your bookmark.
Yes.
That's a nice bookmark.
You know, I'll tell you another fun little story. I have a magical power that I can increase the value of money. When I saw Andrew Yang up in New Hampshire during the primary, I put my name, I autographed $150 and threw them all at Yang, and gave it out to the audience. And one enterprising individual took one of those autographed dollar bills and sold it on eBay for $10. So I was able to increase the tenfold.
Wow.
At the Illinois convention, I autographed a dollar bill and auctioned it off for $7. So that's what I can do for you.
Take that,
I'm
Federal Reserve.
I'm amazed that if they make me the Secretary of the Treasury
Mhm.
and my autograph is on every bill, this economy is going to do amazing.
Wait a minute.
On every bill.
I'm not an economist.
Something sound on every bill.
Well, on your money, the treasurer's signature appears.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So inflation.
So if I were to be the treasurer of the United States, of course, that I guess I could appoint myself that as the president. I would suppose.
Yeah. Hey,
Wow, unprecedented.
give it a shot. You know.
Sky's the limit.
Why not?
Why not, dude? Here, I'd better have another puff before I.
Okay. Yeah. Do
see
that. Absolutely.
meeting.
It's about
And,
to be story time.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
VerminSupreme2020.com. That's my website. Everybody should go there. That's where my policy is. Fun centration camps with water slides for the kids, and a lot of exciting new satire that my policy team has written up. It's wonderful, and you should definitely check it out. There's also the gift shop on there. And I think the endorsements are going to be up soon. We've been getting some pretty crispy endorsements, I got to tell you. A volunteer fire department up in New Hampshire.
Oh, what?
I mean, that's legit.
Yeah,
That's
people
real.
love firemen.
Yeah,
Heck yeah. Especially volunteer ones.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Those are the best.
I mean, it was, very nice. There's some good stuff coming.
I after your book reading, I want and whatever you want to read, I want to talk about the live videos that you've been doing.
yeah,
walking around and
I've
stuff
been
because
enjoying them.
oh man, it's so nice to just see other places and people. Like I feel like that's what everyone's going live now. They need this kind of interaction and stuff. And I've really been enjoying. Dave will have it on his phone, and we're watching. And
That and your
it's
daily
really beautiful.
positivity.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yes. Well,
The daily
thank
love.
you. Thank you very much. No,
Yeah.
that's, I don't know. That's just a thing that started being a thing, I guess.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was inspired by the Mike Gravel commercial, the one where he throws the rock into the pond and the ripples go out.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you ever saw that one. It was
No.
But I know what you're saying. I don't know about the commercial, but I do. Yep.
it's long form. It's like today I wanted to start pitching my things. It's like no, it just didn't feel right. I tried it the other day. It's like nah, it's too cheap, man. But anyway, let's pick out a random chapter.
Okay.
All right.
Random.
Now, I don't think, did I read the Pony Erotica last time? Yes, I did read that
I
one.
remember
Okay.
that clearly. I don't
Okay.
remember a whole lot of stuff.
I just want to check. Let's see. What's a good one?
Yeah, that one's seared into my brain.
Let's see. I could go one for. Okay, I'll give you this one. Now this is well into the action. This is like the 15th chapter. It's almost spoiler alert. This is how it. I mean, I hate to go here, but so I'll read something else first.
Okay.
All right. I'll read a little bit more of the bucolic setup. Okay. Well, wait a minute. There's like 100 pages to choose from. I'm just
At least.
boy. At least.
The sound came back on, Dave.
See.
For a share.
Oh,
Where is
Thank you
that?
for the share.
thank you.
That would be a good one. No. I'm going to go with this one. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go, kids. Get comfortable. Get your jammies on. Okay. I'll get you a glass of milk, and cookies. Okay. Here we go. If I'm elected. Gotta have a sip of water here.
Samesies.
Yes. Mine's not water.
Mm-mm.
Are you grabbing water?
Mine's for loco though.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Okay. All right. Here we go. And I'll show you the illustration for this page.
Oh.
Beautiful.
That's a Rod Weber there. Rod Weber collage.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
see, in color, it's like pretty incredible.
Yeah. A lot of energy.
Okay. Here we go. Whoop, not COVID. Just clear my throat.
It's not the Rona. Just allergies, guys.
All right, here we go. I got to get focused down here. I got to get my head in the proper head state.
Okay.
There's a lot of prep work.
Here we go. Using his scanner device, the man scanned the tattoo barcode on the pony's upper inner lip. It was at this inopportune moment that Butterscotch decided to let loose with a round of flatulence of epic proportions. The man and the boy both winced. Karen let out a little titter. Knowing full well that he could be fined for such an unauthorized methane release, Asher Lee gave his sister a very dirty look. He dismounted his undersized steed. Not much of a dismount, really, seeing as how his feet almost touched the ground. This might be the last season that he could ride on Butterscotch's back. Soon he'd have to ride in a pony cart like the other biggers. Asher unvelcroed his government-issue pony pooper scooper. He expertly scooped up the road apples before they even had a chance to hit the ground, before fluidly flinging the poo into the checkpoint's pony poop collection target. Given the national popularity of pony ball, the hybrid sport combining polo and lacrosse, it was no surprise. His deposit was dutifully recorded and the proper pony poop credits were added to his account. Nothing was said between the two as the man, now using dental tools, continued the cursory dental exam on the pony's mouth. The Free Pony program had served its purpose as a jobs creator. It created lots and lots of jobs. It was a job multiplier that had ripple effects throughout almost all sectors of the economy. There was a surge in pony-related industries. Business was booming for saddle makers, alfalfa farmers, and blacksmiths. The all but extinct buggy whip makers came back with a vengeance. The factories that produced American-made novelty pony hats and oversized pony sunglasses went into overdrive. All buildings in America were required to be pony accessible, providing thousands of jobs in all the trade industries. Detroit was retrofitted to produce pony carts and pony-based and pony-friendly mass transit systems. There were pony refueling stations. There were pony poop collection facilities. There was virtually no unemployment, as every non-working American was conscripted into the pony poop collection corps of America. Composting pony poop into fertile soil for America's future became one's patriotic duty. Dear, how is the... Okay. Dear, I had to remember which voice to use.
Oh, yeah.
Dear, how is the pony poop methane digester running? Great, dear. We should have enough methane gas to heat our lovely home all winter. Wonderful. Chuck, we need to talk. I found this under Asher's mattress. I think he's been clopping. Well, that's normal for a boy his age. But look what he's been whacking to. Jane set down the porno viewer she had found under Asher Lee's mattress. As Chuck flipped through a few galleries, he was disturbed but strangely aroused by the cavalcade of images depicting fornicating, anime, anthropomorphic cartoon ponies. Sorry, I went there again.
I feel like our society's prime for
Okay,
this.
I'm sorry. I forgot this chapter went there also. Hold on. No. Hold on. No. I'm sorry. No, I'll continue. No, it's all good. It's all good. The come hither look of half human, half pony hybrids was surprisingly seductive. He caught his mind drifting. He cleared his throat and said, I'll have a word with the boy. One thing about internet memes, and by memes we mean macro images with words, is that many are not real and could not possibly participate in a deliberative body. Keyboard cat, grumpy cat, troll face, rage face, Zoltar, they're all animals or cartoons. Yet for every 10 unreal internet cat memes, there was one flesh and blood human meme. Now, even the human memes, scumbag Steve, overclingy girlfriend, bad luck Brian, were not real. They were simply snapshots of individuals in a specific time that had led to ascribed meanings by others who added pithy phrases. So it was the rare meme, a unicorn, if you will, that was an actual person doing something as themselves that went viral. Jimmy McMillan of the Rent is Too Damn High party was one such meme. Oklahoma apartment building fire evacuee Sweet Brown became a meme, uttering, "Ain't nobody got time for that." Vermin Supreme was another. Alabama native Antoine Dotson became a meme when the news interviewed him after a bedroom intruder assaulted his sister. David after the dentist became a meme while coming off dental drugs. Is this real life? Indeed. How these random internet celebrities were supposed to come together as a functioning government body was still unclear. Another agent approached Karen and began the familiar checklist. Smile, please. Karen beamed her pearly whites as the agent waved the dental chip reading wand in front of her front teeth. Pony's name? Butterfly. Purpose? Me and my brother are going to school. What is your school? She asked, knowing full well the answer. George Washington Bush Elementary. The agent always enjoyed the way the people who named the school managed to pay homage to two great American presidents at once. She scanned the pony's identification lip tat, admiring the sparkling pony chompers as she did. Nice pony teeth, kid. Now get going. But my brother! I said, get! Karen looked back to see her brother lying face down, spread eagle with his hands on the back of his head. Gee, mister, I didn't mean it, she could hear him saying, as her pony mount was led to the other side of the chute and given a sharp swat to the ass. Butterfly broke into a gallop. Shit, Karen thought. What now? So that's a setup for the next chapter that I'll read.
You left us wanting more. I see what happened there.
Like, I need to get the book now.
You know what? You wrote this book a while ago, right?
Oh yes, but it's true just as now as it was then.
I feel like it's becoming more true.
Exactly.
Yes. It's
like
and here I gotta tell you something really funny. You want to hear something funny?
Yes. Is it scary funny?
No, it's funny because it's true. And it's this simple statement: I am closer to becoming the president of the United States than I have ever been before.
Amazing.
True.
That's a fact. That's
It is.
that's indisputable. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's an indisputable fact. Correct.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I don't see. It's true,
It is.
and that's why that's funny.
It's hilarious. No, but we might be on the right timeline.
I guess in answer to your question, yes, it is a scary, funny thing.
Mhm. I don't know.
I'm
I
okay
can't
with it
see
though.
how it could be much worse.
I'm okay with it. I feel like you'd make more sense in there.
Really,
than
since the
a
Rona
lot of-
lashback started, I can't see how it could get much worse.
it's-
Oh, good, crazy times.
What are your thoughts on how people are running to the government? I mean, obviously, I know what you're going to say, but just so everyone can hear it anyway. But what are your thoughts on how people are really begging the government to shut things down and close non-essential businesses and
Restrict travel.
restrict travel, you know, checking if people have out-of-state plates? I mean, what are your thoughts on all
the response?
overreach, that the government is happily taking because people are begging for it?
Well, I think voluntarily, consensually agreeing to do sensible things as recommended by the healthcare professional industry, sure, I'm down with that. You know, little social distance. You know, little being extremely aware of the virus is everywhere and could kill you if you touch it.
Yeah, I think a good media
that would be
campaign.
enough. You think that the fear factor would be enough simply to get people to understand that it's probably in their best interest to maintain all sorts of practices and sterilize every last damn doorknob and all of those things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of stupid people around there too.
Yeah.
So how would we, or how do we, as people who are not government, as non-government people, community, family, or whatever, where's our enforcement mechanism other than shame or running away from them and squirting them with super soakers or something? I'm not sure. You know, so I can see the the state's interest in flexing its muscles and exercising its control and making and capitalizing on the people's fear and perhaps increasing the people's fear and you know, using their threats. I mean, I saw the thing on the Facebook and the Twitter the other day where the cop come up to the New York couple, you know, but officer, we're married.
Yeah,
No, you better get 6 feet apart, or I mean, and I just saw this other video of this cop rolling up on these people just in their yard. You know, get back in your house, but we're in our yard.
Yeah.
There's no one here. You know, the closing of beaches, the closing of the parks. You know, I mean, people. I mean, our dump is still open, sure. I mean, but you know, they put up road cones, and you gotta. I think accommodations can be made. On the other hand, then you got people voting in Wisconsin, whereas you know, then the state was forcing people to choose between voting and not voting. You know, staying home and being healthy, or voting and perhaps contracting a deadly disease. So they're just every which way. Their inconsistency, especially in that given circumstance, was outrageous and makes you realize that it's may not real. But yeah.
Do you think that we'll ever get back to normal?
Or is this like another
Or is
9/11
this-
event where now this is normal?
Yeah.
Maybe even bigger, because it's really
Yeah, it is
affected
bigger.
everybody. I mean, everybody literally is. You know, I hope people don't become total, you know, hand washing germaphobes, but I suspect we will be.
It's
Yeah.
weird to get a glimpse into their world. I said that on Twitter
yeah.
the other day. This is like a
Suspect
terrifying
we,
glimpse into a germ.
Oh no, I'm touching my face.
I know. I just itched my nose. Like,
Have you been outside today? Have you sprayed Lysol in your quarantine?
I hope we can hug again, and I hope we can gather again.
I know.
You know, we are social animals. I mean, we need to be with each other. We need to be with one another. You know, this or is this some click to a time stream where we're in the future and we only communicate through these digital means? I mean, yeah, it's possible. I just don't know. We shall see. I think we'll eventually go back to something like normalcy and just be very aware and ultimately, I think this whole pandemic mess, uh, I guess it has its silver linings because it's certainly making people question the utility of government to protect them or to save them or to be prepared in
Yeah.
such a situation, and like just assuming that would, oh well, if anything like that ever happens, oh the government's going to come rolling in with all these masks and it'll be okay. But then all of a sudden they don't, and then they're playing footsies and favorites and dicking around with the supply chains and shit.
Yeah.
So once again, it's another one of these events where I think people have to open their eyes and look and then trying to see how the money the money printer goes whir and
Yeah.
the duopoly is still fighting amongst each other between who can cram in the most pork into these $1 trillion
Oh,
bills and
right.
uh, I and put that in conjunction with, I mean, there's the things that okay, did I have to drive into work? Did I have to commute 2 hours every day to get to my shitty job? Oh, I can do it from home. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's different. But maybe I don't have to go back to that. So there's
Right.
that aspect to it. There's the oh, geez, I don't want to go to school. I can learn at home. I can learn on the internet and
That's a
still keep
huge
up
thing.
with my classmates and still have a semblance of a community within the classroom type of thing on a Zoom or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we don't need these big buildings, or maybe we don't need certain aspects of different things. So there's these things that are become more apparent, um, but also there's the other part. What are we going to be when we come out of our cocoon? When we come out of this hibernation,
Yeah.
what kind of world will we be stepping into? And the wild card, of course, is all of a sudden we have unemployment, not seen since the Great Depression.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
It's
like
coming.
massive unemployment. Now we don't know if all those jobs are going to come back, or how many of them will, or what sort of timetable, or what level of shit show we're going to see. Um, there's plenty of people out on the streets already. Is it just going to be a lot more people on the streets? Is it going to be people, just squatting and scrambling or revolting or looting or rioting or
Right.
and then I don't know how do you mass well today I saw my first on the Twitter. It was a clip of a protest against Citibank. I think it was a rent protest or put a pause on things, and I
Yeah.
think hitting the pause button I think makes total sense. I mean, this is pause, baby. And it was a drive-by picket. Essentially, they had their signs and their picketing material and their horn and their bullhorns out their cars, and
Okay.
they were driving around instead of walking around. So that maybe we adapt to different world, different strategies. Hard to say.
It's weird.
I-
It's real. It's just a weird time.
Yeah, it's
Like
gonna be different.
I never expected this and how fast it happened because it was
oh yeah,
the beginning of March when it started to happen around this area, and then they shut down schools and then the liquor stores right away. I was like, that's dumb.
You want us to riot?
And
next time it's zombies, people. Next time it's going to be the zombies. Okay, gotta be ready. We got to really take this thing seriously.
yeah, it just, and it was within 2 weeks. I mean, I thought, and it felt like the longest time. And I know Sunny's here, and a bunch of other people can agree. But March was like 84 days long. It was terrible. It just felt like forever. It just kept getting longer and longer. And now, I haven't left the house. I don't. I have the kids.
Yeah,
I homeschool.
I'm the runner.
Dave's the runner. He goes out and gets the stuff. So.
Wash your hands and don't touch anything and don't let anything touch you, and like push the doors open with your feet and just wrap paper around the fucking shopping cart handle and just keep squirting on more fucking sanitizer and
You got some sanitizer.
You got some sanitizer.
Yeah, she's always been the more
I'm not
conscious of germs.
Yeah, I'm
and
not a
I've always been
germaphobe.
more
I
just
mean,
like
but
it makes you stronger.
but during regular flu season, I'm just like, okay, everybody, like, wash your hands. You know, we just came home from the store, and like the kids just kind of picked that up from, you know, it happening for a couple months in a row, you know, when they were younger. So now they just do that when we come back. But
Out, out, damn virus.
Oh,
Out,
demons!
damn virus. Out, damn virus.
but I wonder how, you know, some people who, you know, I don't know, aren't they don't care. They're out just doing, you know, living
Yeah.
it up anyway, and whatever. Hey, everyone's different. You make your own decisions, but we're choosing.
And I
to
think you're
just,
responsible for those, and I think that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's
I don't
people
want my
are people are going to be
parents to get it.
stupid, so you have to
Well, I
reevaluate
think
your
once again,
responsibility.
huge government failure.
Mhm.
If they were on top of the game and the FDA didn't have all those restrictions against testing kits and all that
Yeah.
nonsense, and we had it, you know, readily available and in the quantities we needed, the time we wanted to you know, find out where the hot spots are,
Mhm.
you know, where it is, where it's not, where these types of preventative measures are applicable, you know, where it's like a total danger zone, where it's a mild danger zone, and where it's a no danger zone, and figure it out from there. Maybe, I don't know.
So tell us about where you've been streaming, and because you've been down, you're by the ocean, correct?
Yes, I live in a town near called Rockport. It's next to Gloucester, which you may have ever seen the movie A Perfect Storm from back in the '90s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's the state of Massachusetts has the big Cape Peninsula called Cape Cod, and then let's see if I can do this. Okay, no, I guess I can't with this. But anyway, so you got your well, here I'll try and do it here. Okay, so this is Okay, I'm Massachusetts. This is Cape Cod, right? Okay, then my ear is Boston, and then this little peninsula up there, that one, that's Cape Ann, and we're like on the tip of that. So on a clear day, you can see Boston to the south, and you can see Salem and Boston to the south. And then when you look north on the other side of the peninsula, you can see New Hampshire, you can see the Seabrook nuclear power plant, and on up to Maine.
Oh, neat.
So it's
Wow.
really a gorgeous freaking place. And yes, and so I've been going around Cape Ann and going around the little woods near where we rent and live, and just sharing that with people every day around 5:30 or so for half hour, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and just trying to find a really chill space, a chill place. Ideally, there's water. Usually, there's water involved. Sometimes I find little streams, and it's been really cool for me because you know, I'm getting to go to all these little places that I have never, you know, that I take for granted. You know, the day before yesterday, I think it was, I spent like 20 minutes just at this little creek, this little brook, this little burbling thing, which is right next to my driveway. I drive up and down it every
Yeah.
day, and I just never stop and sit at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I take this opportunity to just put some running water on the screen, just and so I've been trying to share some really beautiful things, some really beautiful scenery, and sometimes I talk, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I try and give affirmations and just make sure that people are you know, exercising patience with one another, and sharing love, and trying to get along, especially when they're living in a cooped up situation,
Yeah.
and just and how much extra effort that actually takes to um, make work, and you know, just trying to get people involved in mutual aid and charity and volunteerism work, and you know, because there's certainly a lot of amazing projects going on around. I think they're so decentralized, you're not hearing about a lot of them. But you know, I mean, Ohio Libertarian Party putting together a lunch program for the kids because all the kids are out of school and maybe they're not getting a meal, and you know, people all around are doing things with the homeless, and you know, making the best of what we can do under the circumstances. And I believe that a lot of people are doing that, and so I'm certainly encouraging that in my viewership, supportership, or
Yeah.
votership, or whatever you want to identify it as. And so yeah, I think there's some positive things. Also trying to get people to once again, picture what things, what kind of world they might like to see, what kind of world they want to create, what sort of things we might need to make these visions happen, and try back in the the old anarchist day. We had the saying, building the new society in the vacant lots of the old. And I think this is that type of opportunity where it's a paradigm shift. It's a culture shift. It's a huge change, and I don't think it's really totally sunk into a lot of people. I think right now it's there's still this sort of weird novelty of the novelty coronavirus, and it's this weird science fiction thing, and we'll just see how it plays out. It depends how long it goes, to see what kind of level of stress and stress reactions we get, and how people deal with that, and where that leads us. So I'm just trying to get people to think about that in advance, and of course now is time. I think people are starting to think a lot more about spring planting now, and seriously thinking about feeding themselves. Starting to think about how to preserve food and canning, pickling, and a lot of the old. Because I mean, you go back, and once again, I hate to be one of those old guys because this is way before my time. But back in the day, people were much more responsible for their own sustenance, and raising a little bit of a sustenance farm and a little livestock and trading things with neighbors and putting up cannings and root cellars and all those things and. I guess things are different now, but I think, or even, 40s, you had your victory gardens where winning the war was growing food was helping win a war. And now that we're fighting an invisible enemy in a war, maybe we need to take that sort of attitude again. And victory, because that is growing, the more, once again, and of course it leads totally, it dovetails into what we are trying to do is, decouple from the government, decentralize, decouple from the centralized, mega corporate monopoly Walmarts and things like that and whatever. The subsidized projects and all that shit. So, I think there's that part of it too, where we have to realize that, do we need these things? And also, I've been encouraging people during my live streams to start participating in the gift economy. The gift economy starts now, that we can do the gift economy, and that we probably all have some extra stuff, and we're gonna, this is a perfect time to look around your house. I mean, geez, what am I doing with all this stuff? What is all this stuff? And it's a perfect time to start thinking, well, who might like this stuff? And then actually,
toys.
just sanitize your stuff and you wrap it up, or don't wrap it up. But it's a good opportunity to give people stuff and gift people stuff and things that especially things they might need.
Yeah.
For
both of our birthdays, our neighbor left toilet paper on our front porch, along with like a little gift.
I was like, yes, that's awesome, toilet paper.
Happy birthday, you asshole!
And that means so much now. It's like
it does.
They don't know what we have, but
well, we got 3 kids too, so we're flying through the TV. Oh. I'm like, guys, this isn't
I'm
a
looking
toy.
at the trash can. I'm like, are you serious?
I'm gonna start numbering the sheets.
3 sheets max. That's all you need.
Well, I don't know if you saw my TikTok. I was doing an informational PSA on crumpling up newspapers to make them serviceable as toilet paper.
Oh,
nice.
That's a very useful hobo skill. Don't flush it, whatever you do.
You don't
want
to flush.
Yeah.
But you crumple it up and you smooth it out. You crumple it up, you smooth it out. You crumple it up, smooth it out. You do that 3 or 4 or 5 times. Every time you do it, the fibers break down a little bit. It becomes softer and more absorbent, and then you just sort of tear it into strips and wipe your ass with it. And and then I put it in a metal bucket, and you can burn it or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, now places aren't allowed to burn anything anymore.
I'm good. What?
There's burning bans going on. I've saw in
Why?
some memes.
All rules. No, there are no rules now. There's no rules now. It's happening. This is the end times. It's the apocalypse, people. Don't you understand? There are no rules.
Let's burn your shitty newspaper.
Shitty newspaper.
Just roll up your fucking shitty newspaper and throw it outside of your neighbor, man.
Outside of your neighbor.
Let them burn it.
Set set it on fire on somebody's doorstep with a bag of dog shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Easier,
that's
maybe. I don't know. I like that, though. I might have the kids try that.
as a homeschooling,
As a homeschooling project. Like...
How soft can we make toilet paper or newspaper?
Newspaper, yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's something in there with fibers and science. I'm sure there's some sort of scientific thing going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a sheet of paper and then it becomes sort of softer. So there's some science in there.
Yes. I see. Desiree said she went to the liquor store today. Well, first of all, I wish I could go to the liquor store, but ours are closed. People not social distancing. Ran into a dear friend who just had a baby 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, got to see his beautiful face from 6 feet away because we aren't assholes. Yeah.
That's why I think a lot of this could have been handled by a very strong media campaign, and then just self-reliance and self-responsibility.
Yeah.
Like if you are immunocompromised, then you gotta take extra precautions.
Yeah, and
you
who
have
started the toilet paper thing? How did that even become a thing? It's like people fighting over it, Like, who started that?
Well, you have a cousin with
the Charlotte
lung-
Bears, man. It was a plot.
That's, yep. They wanted their stonks to go up.
Yeah, they probably just slipped out a little, like they're buying up the toilet paper. Nobody was buying it yet.
I have 2 cousins who have cystic fibrosis, so this is not. They've been, for them, they get it, and it would be a death sentence for them. So they've been quarantining.
It's not a joke. I mean, people who like to make dark humor and make jokes, but it's definitely not a joke.
Right.
No,
right.
And there's a lot of people that just your free speech. You want to talk about something. Nothing can be off limits. And once something becomes off limits, then it can be controlled how it's to talk.
Oh yeah, no. Ultimately, people have make jokes about anything, any disaster, any horrible thing that's ever happened. There's always been jokes about it. Mm-hmm. But this particular one, I'm not the one who's making them. I'm not.
You guys do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out.
That's how because it's a coping mechanism, for people and.
For sure.
Trying to come to grip in terms with the terrible things, and sometimes that's the way they go. So yeah.
Oh, Sunny says the social media, it went viral.
Yeah.
So yeah,
one person said they're buying all the toilet paper. That's probably what happened. Nobody was buying it yet, but somebody said they're buying it all.
Went to Costco and bought
Next thing they're all eating Tide Pods and snorting condoms.
Right. It's a crazy time. It really is. Do you have any speculation on when you think this might be over-ish, like when we'll be allowed back out to be
When's
normal?
When's the bars going to open back up?
Well, I remember that I saw one of those press conferences by the president, and he said Easter we would be able to go to church. So that's what I'm banking on. Easter probably. Well, wait a minute, that's this weekend.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
So no freaking idea. No, yeah. I know. I mean, May Day would be a good day to go out in the streets. I mean, what a perfect May Day for all the. It's a workers' holiday and stuff.
I saw him saying, hopefully, we'll be allowed out for 4th of July to celebrate our freedoms.
Oh
yeah. I mean, that's talking the Rainbow Gathering community, because the 4th of July is when we have our Rainbow Gatherings out in the National Forest. Of course, a big part of if I am to receive the nomination, which I am, of course. A part of the strategy involves going to every damn festival that there is. Burning Man to all the rock and roll festivals, the Comic Cons, anywhere where the young people are. That's where I'm going to be wanted to be campaigning, and hopefully that will be possible. And it's very up in the air right now, because unless we do it right and eradicate it, we don't want a boomerang. But then, of course, you hear about the herd immunity, so I don't know. There's that part too, and I'm not a scientist, but I am a boomer.
I got the emails
I want
that Karen sent to me.
That Karen sent. I want to ask, because you mentioned Burning Man.
I put it. My wife had me put a hairdryer up my nose because she read about it on the internet.
The heat, yeah.
I saw the guy.
You gotta drink hot liquids every 5 minutes.
Right? Blowing the hairdryer up your nose, yeah. Have you ever been to Burning Man?
I have not. I always said I to myself I would wait until some corporate entity wanted me to hire me to be their dancing monkey.
Yeah, there you
go. A theme camp could hire me.
That seems where it's at now. It seems mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not. What's your concert history. You know, what have you seen live? And
You were born in that.
Queen. Queen was the first concert I ever did acid at, man.
wow, how did that go?
Really nice, actually. Very, very nice. A lot of colors, and it was a good rock and roll show for sure.
That'd be
good.
fun.
Wow,
That's some fun music.
Yes,
Saw Boys Cult on acid too one time. That was pretty.
wow.
I peaked way too early. I was still in my dorm. Oh, jeez, it was very, very embarrassing. Don't ever do that, kids.
Oh my.
You hadn't even left the house yet.
And okay, I would never do that shit in public no more. No way.
No, no.
I used to work with waiters though.
Oh my gosh, they
wait
come
tables.
into wait
I was
tables.
Like, how do you deal with the general public?
How can you look at people? How can
Hungry
you look at
people.
anything? Not. How do you serve people food and not just stare at it for 10 minutes
I think
until
he
it's
did
cold?
that. He held it a little too long.
Oh man, that's so great! Wow. So.
Oh yeah, no, tons of band. Too many to ramble off on. You know, I guess. But...
What's on your playlist now? What's the kind of stuff you listen to now?
Well, right now I'm sort of working on my death list. When I hear a song that I really want to, I say I want to hear that song when I'm on my deathbed, and so I'm working on that mixtape, quite frankly, because I made a real nice one for my mom when she was passing, and I figured that I should really do one for myself so that I have some input over what kind of things that will go through my ears, and
Yes.
so I'm looking at the Passenger by Iggy Pop is on there. Home by Talking Heads is on there.
Wow.
A bunch of really nice, wistful type of songs in that band. You know, songs that, let's see, what's that other? Yeah, I don't know, a whole bunch of songs. And traditionally, our week gives us like Saturday morning is the polka show out of University of New Hampshire. Gary Straczynski has been doing this polka show from 9 to 11 every week, and so me and my wife listen to that. That's a tradition. He's been doing that for 30 years. We've been here for about 30 years. And after that's Greek music, the Aging Connection, and and then a college countdown. So I don't listen to anything in particular. It's sort of what flies over the radio airwaves into my ears. You know, I find that I have a lot of songs that I know, a lot of favorite songs that I enjoy, but I have no idea who does them. That type of thing.
Yeah.
But it always gives you a pleasant surprise. Really, I didn't know that was the name of that band. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep. Or like we do, we're like, oh, did you hear this new song? And then our younger friends on Facebook are like, yeah, that came out like 7 years ago.
Yeah. They're like, wow, I love that song when it came out in 2010. I'm like, well, whatever. I like it now.
It just came across my Pandora.
Yes.
Yeah. I totally trust the college kids to play good music for me. Really,
Right.
I totally defer to the kids. They know what's up, you know.
Yeah. Now, are you watching Netflix? We want to know. Are you watching Tiger King?
I saw the first episode.
Okay.
I saw the first episode.
And your thoughts? Because Dave's like,
I'm noticing that active, important people don't get past the second episode of Tiger King. Because we talked to John McAfee yesterday.
a lot of our
and
friends
he didn't
are
get past
active and
this.
important.
Yeah. And it's hard to say, what are you watching? I don't watch things. I'm out doing things.
Well, no, but he can't be out doing things now because he's on,
Oh yeah, that's
the whole
a good
world
question.
is
Now
shut
it's
down.
a good question.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I like the idea that Trump is thinking about pardoning him. It just makes total sense.
In this timeline, it does.
Yeah, unfortunately, very sadly, some reporter actually asked him if he would consider it, and yeah,
and he responded.
Yeah, so instead of throwing him out or calling him a shit reporter, I mean, he calls shit reporters fucking reporters who ask him real questions, but ask him some stupid fucking shit.
Yeah.
Let me think. Yeah. Outrageous.
It's true. It's weird how he talks to people.
Mm-hmm.
The reporters and stuff like that. I mean, it really bothers my mom. She's like, he has no respect for any person. She is.
Like on a
I was like, you
personal
need to stop
level.
watching the news, Mom, because this is making your blood pressure go up, But she's like, I do not like that man. He's mean to people. But I love what you're doing, though, Vermin. You're all about spreading the love, especially at this time. But I think
Every day.
I feel that way anyway.
I see your
yeah.
post every day.
Yeah, no, I am really actively trying to, open people's eyes to, what the Libertarian Party is and what it can be. Just the fact that, my involvement with it, it forces people to really give it another look.
Yeah.
Like and recontextualize in their minds and, you know, because and I just tell them, the Libertarian Party, it's not what you think it is, and it really it irks me when people, they throw out those tropes and the stereotypes, and it's geez, it's and of course they were all the ones that I also possessed at one point.
So let's talk about again the Libertarian LP, right? Is that what that is? Okay, wait. Oh, hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Dave.
David Andrew Gay said, "Tell Verm it's my birthday tomorrow, and thanks for the help in New Hampshire."
Oh,
with
yeah.
holding the sign, because you got the media's attention.
Yep. No, always happy to lend my whatever it is to whoever needs it. And no, that was a good time, and it was really fun, and got to show David our bar and stuff where all the journalists hang out, and tried to.
COVID again.
Yeah, no, it was a real good time. We had live ponies this year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What?
That was so good. This woman Heidi volunteered her. She has 2 ponies, and she brought the ponies, and we walked them up and down the street every day. Trump had a rally there at the Civic Center, and we walked the ponies as far as we possibly could up the line. We followed there was this long line to get into the thing, and we walked all the way up this line, very close to the center, and finally some security clown decided that we couldn't be doing that, and proceeded to throw us out, and that became a hilarious movie in its own right. And I was making this, but my ponies wanted to hear how the president was going to make America great for ponies again. And the pony, this guy tried to lead us down this one way, and the ponies they weren't going down the steps. It was like no go, and so we had to back them up and take them around this other way through this snowy field, and the ponies are running around and take them down this other steep way. And the funny thing is, these days, when a cop tries to throw me out of an event or evict me, they have to take into account that their pace is completely controlled by the number of people who come up and try and get selfies with me.
Whoa.
And so it happened several times up in New Hampshire, and it happened there. And so they're trying to walk us at the same way we walked in, but everybody in this damn line of thousands of people all wanted selfies. And so I would just accommodate them. At one point, it's like I said, "Fuck it, this is enough." And I said, "Hey, cops, take me through this way. Let's get out of this shit show." And
oh my gosh,
that's a pretty entertaining little part of it.
Why are they trying to take you
And I
out?
can just go, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah. Why are they trying to make you leave? Where are they taking you? Why?
I don't know why. I mean, they weren't going to let me into the auditorium with the ponies, obviously, but they could have let me walk up to the place and exercise my free speech. I mean, they could have let that happen, but they were claiming that because they were renting out the whole property or whatever. I don't know.
The picture real quick.
There's the picture.
Ah, there we are. There's Spike.
Why did Facebook delete Liberty memes?
That's awesome. That's so great. Thank you for your service.
Hey,
Okay,
look,
yes.
Spike Cohen, everybody, my running mate.
I gotta get
Hi, everybody.
Spike.
How are you? It's good to be here.
Oh, that's awesome that he's right there on location.
Thanks for coming in, Spike.
Absolutely. Me and Vermin are going to be the best team ever. I am like number one. Here, I'll even read you Spike's statement of purpose here that he has on the back.
Oh, great!
So that'll be fun. So and then I'll read you a little bit from my book some more.
Okay.
So here we go. The American political conversation. Now that's not like how Spike would read it at all. I'm sorry. But
do it how he would do it. Get into character.
The American. I can't do it, man. I can't do my Spike voice. The American political conversation right now is an irrational, emotionally driven debate over which of the two terrible Republican options is the least terrible one, and precisely how much more the government needs to grow. We need a massive shift in that conversation to make it into a debate over whether or not government should even exist, to put the status on the defensive. My experience as a business owner, salesperson, and libertarian show host makes me well suited to use my campaign for VP to be a catalyst for that shift. I am using satire and humor to get earned media and spread the message of self-ownership, non-aggression, and voluntary interactions over coercive ones to people who are completely disengaged and disillusioned by politics. Follow me on my social media to witness this firsthand. Thank you for your consideration. And he promises free cheesy bread, and badger. So that's really important to know. So
Wait,
I'm glad.
And a badger? And a
Yeah,
badger?
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
We get ponies, cheesy bread, and a badger.
There's a lot going on, man. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on in our world.
I'm
Forget
cool
those
with that.
Trump bucks, man.
Yeah.
Some cheesy bread.
Some cheesy bread, a pony, and a badger.
Okay. Oh boy. Let's see. I was going to read the one part, but now I'm thinking of reading another part.
Why not both?
we're late into the show.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna jump into this exciting.
I kind of like that Spike guy, man. He's saying some stuff.
Right?
Oh yeah, no, he's very eloquent. He says stuff I wish I could say. Quite frankly, he says really good stuff. I'm very very lucky to have him as my VP running mate in this libertarian run, and he's an ANCAP, and so he as are many people in our campaign staff team. So
Yes.
there is
I
that.
know a lot of them.
And
Regular badgers or honey badgers?
I'm not sure. Working on that one.
Thank you.
Honey badgers are rough. Honey badgers don't care.
They don't care.
They don't give a shit.
They don't.
Okay, here we go. This one will probably leave you wanting some more. This is a chapter, and I'm going to show you the illustration for this
yeah,
one.
the illustration.
If I can, it's really hard doing it backwards through this camera thing. Let me tell you.
That's okay. It's like being a weatherman. You have to.
Is that like a Stonehenge type?
Oh, is that what that is? Stonehenge with like boots?
Nope. This is actually because in my book, in Blueprint for New America, Detroit is the new capital of America.
Oh, that's okay.
Wow, I'm
So
glad to
this
see
is
they
the
make a
Ren-
resurgence.
This is the Rensen.
Okay.
And you can see King Kong, Zombie Kong, climbing the tower. You see that?
Nice.
Okay. So that is an illustration for this chapter. Okay. All right. Here we go. No one.
Somebody in the chat will get that. Sorry.
Oh, I was talking to the comments. Sorry.
Okay. No worries. Okay. All right. Here we go. Mobilize global ponies, y'all. Okay. No one alive would have ever noticed the resemblance, but with his long blonde hair and feminine features, Chuck vaguely resembled his great-great-grandmother, the silent movie star Fay Wray. It is unlikely that anyone dead, for that matter, would have noticed the resemblance. But to the recently freed Kong, with his terrible zombie eyesight, the way the sunlight played on Chuck's tresses made the Fay Wray likeness all too real. Hold on a second. I'm going to skip back a chapter or two because this is, no. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now, this is this chapter.
Oh yeah.
See,
Now
that's Zombie Kong,
Zombie Kong.
and he has the RoboCop statue in his hand.
This is an exciting book.
I want this
The
book.
RoboCop statue.
And see down underneath, that is Joe Louis's fist, which is a very famous sculpture in Detroit. Look it up.
Nice.
Okay, so here we go. This is much better bedtime material. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me grab a little sip here. All right. The zombies continued to swarm. They piled on and began feasting on the pony portion of the centaurs. They were eating them alive. Curiously, the zombies left the upper human portions uneaten, leaving the centaurs to die in agony. Needless to say, under the circumstances of their demise, they themselves would be squirming legless zombies before the end of the day. Not a single centaur survived the battle that day. Years later, there would be a plaque commemorating their bravery. Rest their souls. The zombies swarmed Hart Plaza, quickly filling it to its 40,000 person capacity. They descended around the sculpture titled The Monument to Joe Louis. The monument was also known as a fist. It was commissioned by the meme content conglomerate Time Inc. for the city of New Detroit, known back then simply as Detroit. Unveiled in the late 20th century, the monument to Joe Louis was a 24-foot-long arm ending with a defiant fist. Zombies swarmed around and underneath the 8,000-pound bronze John Lewis arm. They lifted the massive sculpture, looking like some sort of millipede. They began to slowly turn the fist around and around until the cables tethering it to its steel I-beam frame snapped. The Brown Bomber, as Joe Louis was known, helped shatter the Nazi myth of racial superiority with his dramatic defeat of German champion Max Schmeling during the rise of Nazism. Due to his love for ponies, Louis served in a segregated cavalry unit during World War II. When commenting on the fact of segregation, Louis famously said, "Lots of things wrong with America, but Hitler ain't going to fix them." Joe Louis was one of the greatest heavyweight world champions of all times. He also broke the color barrier on the PGA Golf Tour. Truly a great hero of the pre-zombified, pre-Ponatopia America. Because of Joe Louis' role in smashing through the color barrier, Mexican-American sculptor Robert Graham referred to his creation as a battering ram. He had no idea how accurate this description would turn out to be. The zombies may not have known what art is, but they seemed to know what they liked. They seemed to like this massive object very much. The zombies started passing the hands over heads, crowd surfing the 4-ton arm. The giant disembodied Joe Louis fist began to pick up speed and inertia as it sailed over the sea of zombies down Jefferson Avenue. The flying winged monkeys were unable to stop the progress of the gigantic forearm as it flew down Jefferson Ave towards the nation's bureaucratic capital fortress. The Centaur cavalry, still fighting to the death, were unable to assist. The Hestons, standing atop their forklift platform, were slack-jawed as they saw the giant fist fly by. The government workers in the tower pressed their faces against the glass to get a better look. There were zombies as far as the eye could see. The workers looked down upon the sculpted fist of mighty Joe Louis, moving down the street towards the fort. Seen from above, it looked exactly as you might imagine. Every eye followed the fist below as it moved quickly towards them. They collectively gasped as it easily smashed through the giant service access gate of the palace fortress. They could see the zombies pouring into the courtyard through the open gates, the very courtyard that held everybody's zombies. The marauding zombies began their horrible feast. Spoiler alert, the zombies eat ponies in this part of the book.
Oh no.
Spoiler alert.
But
It's a horrible thing I did in this book.
Wow.
It's a horrible thing.
But no. Zombie alert update. Fortress gate has been breached. Palace courtyard has been overrun. Please remain at your workstations. Thank you. Stand by for further updates. Their eyes widened as the flying fist disappeared under their feet. The massive hand of Joe Louis came smashing through the glass wall of the giant atrium and into the lobby. Sheets of glass rained down like confetti. The few humans in the lobby ran for the stairs. The zombie-powered fist having picked up much momentum, continued through the lobby at an incredible rate of speed. It easily destroyed the receptionist information security kiosk and continued through the vast atrium towards the giant glass cage that just happened to house one of the most fearsome creatures on the planet.
Oh.
Behind that 3-inch glass wall was zombie King Kong.
I need to know where that came from.
No.
The only thing between the 3-inch glass wall and the flying Mega Bronze fist of Joe Louis was the gift shop. The gift shop had many wonderful tchotchkes and gewgaws. There were holographic Vermin Supreme bobbleheads, Vermin Supreme snow globes, plus zombie King Kong dolls. There were shot glasses, mirrors, and bomber jackets with the heavy metal style ZKK logo. There was a whole section dedicated to pony stuff. Conspicuously absent, zombie swag. The cashier looked on in slow motion as the fist obliterated her beloved store and hit the wall of Kong's enclosure. The glass wall shattered. The fist clipped Kong, spun him around, and knocked him on his ass. The fist continued its trajectory and ripped through the back wall, hitting one of the building's supporting columns with such force that the entire skyscraper shook. Giant chunks of jagged glass crushed dozens of zombies in the lobby, cutting some gratuitously right in half, lengthwise, in slow motion. King Kong had been a fearsome greeter to all who visited Fort Rensen Center. Since shortly before he was reanimated, there wasn't much else to do with him. Zombie Kong was too dangerous. He was uncontrollable, unpredictable. May as well put him on display like a monster, a living Vladimir Lenin. Kong pulled himself up off his ass and proceeded to go full-on zombie apeshit. He started jumping up and down and beating his chest. Every time he landed, he smushed several zombies. He rolled around furiously on the ground, crushing zombies by the dozen. Kong ran in circles around the lobby, picking up speed. He bounced from wall to wall, his massive bulk breaking through the marble facade, exposing the I-beams underneath. He started picking zombies up by the fistful and throwing them against the wall. He was merciless. Bronzed, rested, and entering on his back, RoboCop suddenly incongruously appeared. But this wasn't the fictional futuristic crime fighter himself. Rather, it was the 10-foot bronze statue depicting the fictional futuristic crime fighter of 1980s movie fame. The Zoms had pulled down the statue like it was that of an overthrown tyrant and then crowd surfed it over their heads into the lobby. The statue, being much lighter than the Joe Louis bronze fist, moved much faster. It was not slowed down by having to break through the gate or the fortress. So by the time it arrived in the lobby, the 10-foot bronze statue was moving as fast as a steam locomotive. Kong leapt out of the way as the speeding Kickstarter-funded RoboCop statue flew headfirst through the wall of elevators. Meeting little resistance, he continued and hit another center supporting column. The impact made a mighty ding. The building trembled as the powerful shock ran up the tower. Tens of thousands of the building's occupants broke into a subtle panic. The High Council of Internet Memes on floor 53 proposed an emergency declaration condemning the current situation. Kong grabbed the RoboCop statue by the ankles and pulled it out of the hole in the wall in which it was lodged. He swung the statue around and around the vast lobby, destroying everything that had not been destroyed yet. Zombie alert update. Palace lobby has been breached. The building is now in lockdown. Please remain at your workstations. Everything is under control. Stand by for further updates. Smile and have a nice day. After beating at the walls a while, Kong swung the statue upward at the ceiling with much force. RoboCop's face easily broke through the ceiling into the next floor. Humans and furniture came tumbling down from above. Kong found that somewhat exciting, so he swung the battering statue again through another spot. More furniture and humans fell from the ceiling like a piñata. It was at this unfortunate moment that the basic zombie behavioral level was somehow reset. The zombies gave up on their distaste for humans. Suddenly, the zombies were viciously devouring the unlucky humans falling into their midst. Smash, smash, smash. Again and again, Kong swung the statue, hitting the same spot several times while creating a hole large enough for him to crawl into. Kong leapt up, catching himself on the edge of the gaping hole. He was able to squeeze his head, then his arm and shoulder up into the next floor. He scooped up terrified humans and stuffed them in his foaming maw. Meanwhile, the zombies continued to flood into the lobby. They poured into the exposed elevator shafts. Most fell down the shaft, while some climbed the cables. The elevator shaft began to fill with zombie bodies. Soon they filled the entire atrium, climbing over each other 3 deep. The damn zombies were everywhere, bursting through the doors to the stairwells. A steady stream of zombies continued to go up the upstairs and down the downstairs. They quickly filled the basement floors and began to fill the first floor above the atrium. As more zombies filled the floor, many were being pushed into the gaping hole in the floor that Kong had made. Zombies fell from the ceiling, along with the occasional terrified human, into an ocean of the undead, 5 zombies deep. Zombies began to cling to Kong's legs, climbing him. This caused Kong to jump up and down with great force, shaking off some zombies and crushing many more in the process. Looking outside, Kong realized there was more to his kingdom than just an atrium full of zombies. Using the holes he punched in the ceiling as grab holds, he swung across the lobby and leapt outside. He landed with a mighty squish, almost slipping and losing his balance on the squirming zombie pate underneath his feet. He beat his chest in typical monster ape fashion and let out a mighty roar. Rah! In the middle of the pulsate, Kong was energized by his newfound freedom. In the middle of the pulsating zombie mass, he saw the family of humans huddled on the platform. They appeared to be an edible, tasty plate of humans just waiting to be eaten. Kong started monkey jumping through the sea of zombies, his giant monkey feet crushing zombies with every step. As soon as the Hestons saw this huge zombie ape coming their way, they did not hesitate. Immediately it was ready, steady, aim, and fire. Team Heston lit up old zombie Kong like a Christmas tree. The last time Kong caught hot lead like that was on the top of the Empire State Building over a century ago. The gunfire brought back vivid monkey memories. Kong could see the tracers as he dove and monkey rolled through the zombies. He jumped up in the sky and landed, then cartwheeled and did other evasive monkey maneuvers as he tried to evade the stinging pellets. The Heston did not understand yet that this giant ape was also a zombie that was already dead. The great ape had no blood to bleed. It had no functional vital organs that could be destroyed by bullets. The ape somersaulted and skidded to a stop, flat on its back, mere yards from the Hestons. Kong, easily distracted and in no hurry, took a moment to catch his zombie breath. He looked up at the sky, cloudy and blue, and felt the breeze blow through his fur. He began to notice the squirming magic finger zombie massage he was receiving on his underside. The Heston family looked down upon the motionless ape. He wasn't breathing. They naturally assumed they'd killed the great beast with their superior firepower. But as anyone who's ever seen a horror or monster movie before would know that was a terrible thing to assume.
Yes.
The Hestons took a moment for a group hug, unaware that things were about to get real crazy all over again. Thank you.
Wow. Okay,
Riveted.
so
I was riveted.
I feel like I have a mental image of what was going
It
on
really
there.
it's very
It's real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So people are asking, where can they get the book? So
The
let them
book-
know.
a lot
the
of
book
people
is
don't believe this
available
exists.
on iPonythebook.com. iPonythebook.com.
The book.
I don't think we have copies in our gift shop. Check out verminsupreme.com/merch or verminsupreme2020.com and go to the merch button. We might have it there. If it's not there, go to iPonybook.com or iPonythebook.com. There you
Okay.
go. I see the link on the screen there. And yes, it's a story about the future. And I've never read those chapters out loud live before like that. So you were definitely a first for
Well,
that.
thank you.
And so that was it felt very special. Thank you very much.
Wow.
It was amazing for us too. Aaron wants to know if there is an audio book version. He is.
Yeah, he listens to a lot
He
of books.
listens to a lot of books when he's at work because he's
We
delivering
are
mail.
we are on the verge. It has not been recorded yet, but we do have tentative plans to make that happen in a fairly COVID-free, timely fashion.
Yes.
COVID time is weird.
COVID time, yeah, it's weird. So okay, so let's talk about whatever you want to like promote right now. What do you want people to know about you, to do to help, and just anything you want to share with the folks who have come in, maybe at the last minute here.
All right. Well, as I said, Vermin Supreme 2020.com is our website. Has a lot of information. Has chunks of the LP platform. In fact, if you're for some reason unfamiliar with the Libertarian Party platform, of course, check out lp.org/platform. You smile, you laugh, you smirk.
No, I'm the comments.
Oh, good. But yeah, check out that. Check out the. We have an events page up there too, so you can go check out the events. Doing a lot of social media these days, it seems.
Mhm.
Also, as a general rule, you can catch me on Facebook under Vermin Supreme for President. That's the one with the blue check mark. That's where I'm doing my daily live streams from, bringing the people a nice piece of scenery every day. So feel free to check that out. It's a pretty chill and mellow space that I'm trying to present. At Vermin Supreme on Twitter. I got that. At The Real Vermin Supreme on TikTok. Apparently somebody stole my name there before I had a chance to get it. Let's see. What else? I know we got a thing on Discord, and I believe there's a Reddit page or two. And there's all sorts of things out there,
Mhm.
We're running this real campaign. I mean, obviously this campaign's gotten real weird. And but it's still a real campaign. We still have real bills. I mean, quite frankly, the campaign organism itself actually has monthly bills in excess of my monthly living bills.
Yeah.
Funny because it's true. So there is that. So if people have a little bit of extra money to kick down to the campaign, they can do that. We take crypto. We got the button on the page there. Also, there is that weird contest going on where we're trying to bring people into the party. So if you got 25 bucks extra and want to join the Libertarian Party or re-up your membership, do it through my link, and I get credit for it, and it pumps up my numbers and makes me seem or appear to be a much more feasible, viable, and reasonable candidate that can, in fact, bring people into the party, which is, of course, one of the things that we are banking on. One of the things that we are promoting. 5%. My staff truly believes that out of all the candidates, I'm the most likely to get that 5% in the general election. But maybe so. I mean, did I rattle those stats off last time? I don't know if I did. 3.9 million high school kids graduate a year. Give me 2 of those years, that's 8 million kids. Add that to 17 million college kids. That's a pool of 25 million potential voters. And, yeah, and if I get 1 out of 4 of them to vote for me, that's 6.5 million. That equals your 5% right there. Does not include the massive amounts of disillusioned, disgusted, and those not involved in politics who will jump onto a Vermin Supreme juggernaut. And it does not include the thousands of subculture elements in America. I mean, whether they're crypto nerds or kinky sex nerds or roller derby girls or sex workers or Comic-Con people, or I mean, there's a million magic card players. I mean, there's so many different types of really cool, interesting little subcultures, and they all fall under the umbrella of geek and nerd culture.
Yeah.
And they are my natural audience as a meme candidate. And so I believe that, especially in this COVID times, that's where a lot of the campaigning will be taking place if we're not allowed to attend these big conventions and gatherings of
Right.
these people. And so there is that. And I'm sure I got distracted there. What was I trying? I was trying to wrap shit up, right?
No, you did great. No, that was wonderful.
I'm all over the social media, and you're welcome to share our stuff and retweet our memes. And if you want to work on the campaign, drop us a note at info@verminsupreme2020.com, and then you'll get rerouted to where you need to. I can't wait to go back and read these comments.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them. We're over 1,000, I think. We got a cool
man.
audience.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's once again, it's a real campaign. It continues being a real campaign. It's not over till it's over, until the LNC and we decide what's going on with the convention and the nomination. We'll know more as the days go by, and of course Memorial Day weekend is the tentative schedule for the live gathering in Austin, which may or may not happen. And so everything's way up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Do you think you get more of an audience on these online debates than the actual closed in-person ones?
Perhaps. I mean, but there's a certain thing about the live audience, the debate audience, the potential delegates and the members of the state convention and just like the last one in Illinois, brought in a bunch of local kids because they heard I was going to be there, so that was cool.
Yeah.
There's something about being there too, and
and your crowd could
really being there.
Potentially.
I mean, I really miss them in retrospect. I mean,
I'm sure.
I was so many of them, and there was times where it's like, even before it started, I can't wait till this thing's over, and just like okay, and count the candidates and know how long it is, and figure out how many questions and how many how many rounds of questions it would take, and just not being there present, and other times I've had a really good time, felt I really connected with the audience and made a big impact, and it was a very interesting format for me to utilize. Because it was it was such a process. It occurred over a year, and it was me trying to figure out how to mix the serious and the funny.
Yeah,
And,
you can't just abandon.
Oh yeah.
Vermin Supreme.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I'm a funny guy, whether in a character or not. And, even my serious Vermin character is funny enough. So I think I found a pretty good a mix. Lead with a quip or a joke or a goof, and then bring it back to the platform, and that seemed to work really well. And the thing I liked about the debates is that you have 7+ candidates answering the same questions in the most libertarian way that they can. And so knowing that it sort of freed me up to do it a little differently. It's like, how can I say what they're saying? Maybe I don't have to because they've already said it, and everybody sort of knows we're all on the same page.
Right.
And that would give me a certain freedom to goof around with the format a little bit. But if you've seen them, you've known they're just much more serious, and they're totally bootless. And after a while, because ultimately I'm trying to make convince the people, make a sale to the potential delegates, and let them know that I'm a real person, real character, and in putting out this real offer on the table. And I understand that many people feel uncomfortable with it, or don't realize what the magic boot can do for them. And so I've just been more than happy to go along with that, and try and continue to make the case that I'm the best hope that the LP has.
Yeah.
Also, before you go, it's a thing now. You have to say something nice about Bo Wright.
You don't even have to. You can't tell him what to do. Would you like
Otherwise,
to say
our crowd's gonna riot.
Okay, I won't get in trouble. He's not a super sketchy character, is he?
No.
No, he's great. He's a meme lord. He's fun. I don't know. I mean,
he has a nice name.
All right, he does. Well,
he does. See?
Bo Wright. I will say that about that Bo Wright. He does have a very nice name.
There we go.
That's all I needed.
Y'all heard it here. Not to put you on the spot with that. It's the new, like, do noodles go in chili kind of question that we were stuck on for a year last year.
That's okay. In Arizona, they tried to get me with the question. They tried to Aleppo me with the Uyghur, and they wanted to know, what about the Uyghur? Luckily, I knew about the Uyghur.
Yeah, you're going to get me with that.
They're the Muslim minority that the Chinese are oppressing and putting into concentration camps.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. I just didn't know they.
So I did know that, but I quipped before that. I said, "Oh, is that near Aleppo?" And got a big, got a good laugh line, and then they real answer. And that seemed to really work, and seems to work in the online one too. But I'll tell you that the last online debate, I was doing it in my yard. And I pretty much forgot that it was like I just sort of forgot the formalities involved, and so I was just like stretching and standing up and turning around and urinating and like and I forgot I was on camera, and and people are saying stuff, and I'm like fucking laughing and shit. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be like really like what they're saying is not fucking stupid, and you totally disagree with it. And
they frown on the urinating,
right?
Not that none of us candidates, not that we disagree on anything, but we do have the unwritten arrangement where we're supposed to be nice to one another, in public, and certainly on the debate stage. And it broke down a little bit towards the end of the cycle where we're still allowed to gather. I don't think I won't go there though. You don't have to be there, but if it's inside pool, and if you follow it,
Okay. Oh man. So when are we going to see you again? What is your schedule looking like in the weeks ahead?
I don't know. Going nowhere fast, right?
Okay.
A lot of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Just getting your
Got a ton of appearances and a lot of podcasts, and I just don't keep track of them. It's sort of day to day. I've been locked out of my calendar for a few days. I didn't have the switch. My other computer crapped out, and so I had to get a new little computer, and so I did. All my passwords didn't go over, so I've been locked out of my calendar.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer, baby. So why don't you kill me?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because I commented on one of your live streams and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you on again." And then one of your people messaged me.
Oh,
and she was like, "Oh, I was going to schedule him something else, but he said we were going to do this thing." I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, actually, that's right. This weekend I have my pitch to the Radical Caucus. I'm gonna because angling for their endorsement.
Okay.
I think they're predisposed. I think they're liking me a little bit.
Yeah.
I gave my my one. I did one with the Mises Caucus, and that went really well.
Oh, good.
Really surprisingly well.
Yeah, I follow that.
Yeah, I was expecting some real hardball, but no, it was all pretty easy. I've got quite a bit of support over there. It's quite surprising, individually.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
was reading a comment.
No, that's good.
John,
'Cause
we can talk about that some other time. Yeah, it's a stupid scandal. It was a performance art group that I was involved in back in the '90s, and I think it's been done to death. I mean, whatever.
I don't know about it.
Yeah,
I just
I
happened
didn't
to
follow
see
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, yes. It was a very aggressive um, performance art troupe that trafficked in some very, very scary imagery and dark humor,
Okay.
and went existed pretty much to go toe to toe with the fundamentalists and Operation Rescue types, and but a lot of people got scared. It was scary. It was scary. What can I tell you?
Yeah. Well,
And it is a scandal, and it will come up in the general. And but
Be cool, Caleb.
it's a thing.
yeah. I mean, like, we all haven't done things, like Jennifer says. Haven't we all done things in the past? Like,
Yes.
especially if you're running for president, they'll pick out any little teeny tiny thing. And,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I'm just so grateful. Thank you for your time. You came on again. This was,
Yeah, this is great.
we were just so looking forward to this again.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was glancing over the other one that we did a long time. I was like, really, I got nothing to say. I said it all, but here we are. I said stuff. So
Yeah, we
It
always
was
have a
great.
conversation.
Yeah, and we just love to talk and hang out. So we feel like
Yeah.
this was a wonderful time, and everybody I think in the audience had a great time too. So we're just happy to see you doing well, and look forward to seeing more of what you have coming up with the whole quarantine type running presidential running.
I
it's
really
gonna be
feel like this is
interesting.
your timeline too. Like,
Yeah.
everything's
it,
falling
it
into
sure
place.
seems it
Mhm.
sure seems that way. This election is a very different animal. It really seems like I don't want to think like I was ahead of my time or something, and
Yeah.
maybe it's just taking a while for things to catch up with it.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I think your book's going to be like the next 1984. People are going to look back on it and
I
be
thought
like,
that too when he was reading it.
"Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh, did this guy see the future?" Like, and here it is happening.
Yes.
The zombie Kong, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll enjoy it, and definitely write a review for sure if you have the opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I want to read it all, and I know Aaron wants when everybody's allowed to get out again, and you can do the whole Audible book.
Yeah, well, it's been on my list of I was thinking I would read a chapter a day or something maybe for the people, but I just haven't got that part together.
Yeah,
That might be
You're a busy
a
guy.
midnight show or something every night for 18 days, perhaps.
Wow, that'd
Probably
be awesome.
put together all your interviews and get most of the book.
Yeah. Well, you know what though, you got to take care of yourself. You're busy. You're doing stuff. So, but if you do anything like that, let us know because I would love to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I know we got a podcast coming up soon.
Oh, great.
Got some people working on. I believe the working title is "Let This Podcast Run Your Life."
Nice.
Nice.
And,
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just gonna have several different hosts and with interviews and how tos and a little bit of Vermin thrown in just to spice things up. But yeah, we're gonna use that as a promotion tool and
Good.
just try and push it forward. It's so. I will say it's different. I'm writing a national campaign, but on the other hand, I'm just some guy in quarantine living at home.
Like the rest of us. That's how you just relate to the people.
I'm just a normal guy. I put my boot on my head one at a time, like a normal guy.
One boot.
Do you have a custom made boot now? I think you
Nope,
might have asked this last time.
it's a tingly, but I was at this event we had at it was this great little marijuana smoking club out in Worcester, Mass. I can't remember the name offhand, but this fan showed up and he got one of the tingly rainwear, and apparently they make it out of this material that is similar to yoga mats.
Oh.
And he was able to heat it up and stretch it, so it was a perfect head fit. and it was really lightweight, and it was I think it was like a full on next generation of boot.
Yeah.
It,
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I could not imagine wearing it though.
I keep going to scroll up the comments and realize that I can't do that.
Oh yeah. Well, you take your time going through because there's a ton on here. So don't.
Much more positive than negative.
Oh yeah. Don't
Much
listen to
more.
Hatchy. He's just.
He's a character.
He's,
Yeah, no, like I say, I mean, there's some real hardcore cranks and who are full on vermin derangement, and you know, several I believe are principled people who feel really strongly about it, and others just have a real hard on for me for some reason.
I don't think they were here tonight, which was nice because it was very positive.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, overall, I mean, I've come to realize that I just think the vast majority of my audience, certainly my supporters, but I don't know. We'll see as the campaign progresses, and certainly if it goes national,
Then it's scary.
there'll be. But yeah, I feel like I've taken a fair amount of hate and attacks and slander and libelous accusations the past year. You know, little spurts here and there, but that's okay. You know, I could take that, and I guess it's what I signed up for.
Yeah,
It's part of it. Yeah.
You know, I always used to have a few people who just hated me because of my politics or whatever, but now they hate me because I'm messing with theirs, perhaps.
People are very passionate about their side.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, people, you know, they're very possessive of their party, and I understand that. But obviously, a sizable number of people strongly disagree and believe that in the viability of taking this path. Essentially, the Libertarian Party is going to be given two choices of very different time streams. One will be the one that is the most entertaining, most exciting, the one with the most fun and audience engagement and participation, and the one that will go down in history and be talked about forever more, or something else, more of the same. The choice is theirs.
Yeah.
I'm just putting up the offer. You know, I'm not involved. I'm not hungry for it like I might have been when I was a younger person.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. I mean, I will do the job, and I will, you know, I will bring it. I will certainly bring it if that is what the people, if the delegates choose.
Yeah.
And it's okay. If they don't, I'll just keep recruiting and keep working on my power base within the party until.
Yeah, I feel like the other option is the guy that hasn't responded to my email, so I do have favorites.
No, I think you know where we are right now. I'm cool with this. I'm good. Yeah, I am.
This is the best possible.
And like Dave said, this
future.
is your time. This is your timeline. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly appreciate your support, and boy, if I was feeling ballsy, I'd angle for some sort of, you know, an endorsement.
We gotta stay.
I know you'd have to run it by your people and stuff,
but
but
got a lot of handlers.
I'm just putting it out there. I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I say we have our favorites. You're definitely up there.
Oh yeah, you still have the Vermin bumper sticker
you're
on your car.
You're the only person on the bumper of my car since 2016.
You are the only one who is. Yes, your name is on Dave's car.
I still haven't updated the date like you told me to do. Go down to the hardware store and get.
Oh goodness! Oh, you're like you haven't been pulled over.
Well, people know. They're like, oh, there's Dave. That's to the Vermin bumper sticker.
They know from my Facebook profile.
Yeah, it's great, and we
stay
love
neutral.
you, Vermin.
We're just the media here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very much loving the fact that I'm being able to be a monthly supporter.
The Liberty memes.
My campaign.
Liberty memes, absolutely.
Liberty meme. yep, kicking down the Liberty memes. I'm very glad that the Federal Election Commission realizes that that is a legitimate campaign expense,
Oh,
and
Great.
that there is and that there is no quid pro quo involved whatsoever.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome having you in the group. You know,
You're the only presidential candidate in the group.
in
as far as I
the
know.
Liberty Memes community group. Yeah, and LMP.
No,
And yeah.
I brought up the Liberty memes community time and time again at the debates when I'm talking about the mutual aid and voluntary charitable good works that the
Oh, it's
libertarians
awesome.
are doing that the public might not know about, and that we need to lead with these examples. I mean, we
Yeah.
can't just say, we're gonna end Medicaid, we're gonna end Social
Yeah.
Security day one, and without offering some realistic examples, if
How we're
not
going to take care
simply
of each other.
or at least alternatives. But if we have some concrete examples that we can show that people do care, and that we do have
Yeah.
compassion, and that we do have empathy for those in need, and are very much wanting to work together to alleviate that human suffering.
Yep.
I've been really trying to bring that to the debates and trying to bring an awareness to the party. And
I'm
I
so
guess to the
glad.
other, yeah.
I sometimes I think people forget that, you know, that's part of it, that we actually, you know,
Yeah,
and I don't
we
mean
need-
like we like Liberty memes, but just like that there are libertarian people who are, you know, voluntary, you know, V for voluntary, you know, like you're helping out your neighbor. You don't want to be bothered by, you know, the cops and stuff for nothing, but you're going to look out for your neighbor because that's what we do, you know?
You also have to give.
Absolutely. I mean, there's still plenty of considerations, and I've come to. I mean, I still think that I'm an anarchist. I still self-identify as an anarchist. I've been an anarchist for my entire adult life.
That's great.
But we're working with these, doing these debates and listening to what people have to say. I find myself almost considering minarchism, almost
Okay.
considering, and if nothing else, I don't mind presenting a minarchist position to the statists, try and
Oh,
bring them
sure.
a little bit our way.
It's a slippery
Uh,
slope. Get them on it.
it's a very, very slippery
Mhm.
slope. But what I find is well, those are valid concerns. Maybe we can use the government just for that.
And people here though, you know, like
But yeah,
a
I'm
smaller,
saying it's
not use the government just for that, but just the smaller, like a smaller government. There's the statists who are like, you know, worshiping it, and then there's like where I kind of went into like
When we became
libertarian,
libertarians.
minarchist. Dave flew straight into anarchy like immediately, and I was just like, well, what about
It's
this
logical.
and what about that, you know? And it took me a minute, but I had to keep asking questions, and then I realized like, oh yeah, we don't need rulers. Yes, there's moral.
Yeah, there's rules. That's
Yeah,
fine.
law, like, you know, that don't murder somebody, don't take their stuff, don't hurt them.
If everybody was on the same page, that would be swell.
It sure would.
Depends on what page that is.
Our page.
As long as it's my page.
Don't violate the nap. Just leave everybody alone.
Yeah, but it seems like society has been super broken, and this particular stunt that the COVID is playing on us could be a game changer. I think it should be a game changer.
Mhm.
So hopefully we can make it change the game.
Yeah,
Maybe we
one
can
way or
change
the
the
other,
game
it's
a
going
bit.
to.
Yeah.
So let's keep on working on that. I think all our various subgroups and working committees should really keep half an eye towards that. The fact that change, we are the change, and we need to make it happen.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Now's the time. More than ever. But I think every election we say that, but it just feels even more dire now, you know, like just this
Yes.
is we need to
Well,
stand
America's
up
never been really presented with a genuine, feasible, viable alternative.
Ah, right. So here we are.
That's what we need to provide.
Yep.
Oh, we have one.
Oh, this has been great. Yes, love his middle name. Yes. Vermin Supreme. That's official, like, right? Like you changed it to that.
Oh, absolutely. Before I changed it legally, I switched it up a bit. When I first took on the name, I was Vermin Supreme, and but I didn't think I mean, maybe the probate judge would have took it, but I went with love. I just went with the John Coltrane reference.
Oh,
I like it.
thanks, Brett.
I like the love. I love
Yep.
the love. Yeah.
And I used to I never had it on the ballot before, but this year during I think on the Massachusetts Libertarian ballot, they included the love, and I think it might have worked because I won.
Nice.
So there is that.
Yeah, people love the love. So, I just remember your head being that round. He doesn't have the boot on right now, Ryan. This is
Catching the new viewers off.
off guard.
Yeah. This is after hours. This is for fans only.
Right.
We went into the pay group.
Yeah.
It's our fans only.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So it's the weekend. What are you going to do this weekend since you can't really go anywhere and do anything?
I think I'll probably try and broadcast
Okay.
tomorrow evening, and I imagine I'm going to do a lot of raking. I live in the woods,
Oh,
and
nice.
there is just the raking is never ending.
I'm sure.
Because I have an 18-hole mini putt-putt golf course in the woods,
Oh, nice.
here, which is really just an excuse for my junk sculpture garden.
Mm-hmm.
But I've definitely developed it into a playable 18-hole golf course with ramps, and the ball goes up and goes down the hole and rolls down the pipe, 30 feet away and down the hill, and you have to chase it and all of these things. And but because it's in the woods, I mean, there's in the spring it's picking up a lot of needs to work on. Oh, right. As a matter of fact, this weekend I have this new microphone thing. I'm sorry I didn't bust it out for y'all, but I got this new microphone in the mail, and I'm going to be trying to figure out which way to hold it and make it work.
How to plug it in.
Record some campaign propaganda and inspirational messages and PSAs and things of that nature. And so that's what I'll be doing also this weekend, creating content because that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Not just raking.
But I'm gonna be doing a lot of raking too.
Raking and recording.
Both.
Both, yeah.
Recording while raking.
That sounds great.
And sorting my campaign, maybe tidying my office out a little bit, maybe sorting my stuff.
There you go.
You just throw up a green screen. You can hide anything behind that. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Suddenly we're in the bunker.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yep. There's a drum set behind the green screen here. Just put up a green screen.
Yeah, I will have to get one of those green screens. Gosh darn it! What a great idea.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're at.
Yep.
It looks nice and clean and fallout sheltery.
Yes.
Clean and green. Nice.
Oh.
Then people can add their own backgrounds and stuff.
Exactly. Oh my God. There you go. Yes. Yep. That's what Dave has changed it. We had fireplace going like in the wintertime, and we had our city kind of behind us before that.
But
so
we have no rules, so we can just put whatever we want here now.
But now we have the bunker because it's quarantine time. So it's people say remember to compost those rakings.
Uh-oh.
I have to use the restroom, so I think we should probably call it.
It's like midnight now. It's like
it is.
So
It went by so fast.
Where does the time go?
I guess, know. But that means we had fun because the fun
times
go by fast.
Jive Pickle, do I know you in real life? There's so many personalities on the internet that I only know by their handle that I very well may know in real life, and I don't know if I know them in real life.
It's hard.
It's a weird thing that happens sometimes on the internet here.
I'm sure.
Yeah, when we went to YouTube.
But I digress.
I know it's tough when we went to YouTube. A lot of the folks, if they don't use their real name, I'm like, I don't know who. And then
new handle.
I have to figure out who that is. So.
No, you don't know him.
No, he says no. Jive Pickle says no.
Cool. Well, Joe, I've been enjoying your content on the Twitter, especially. I will say that there's so many people, that is like the blessing that I got going. Is that there's so many memesters. There's so many people that want to make content for my campaign. It's so cool. It's like every day I wake up, I start going through scrolling through the thing. It's like, wow, somebody put my face and put some words and threw me in this situation, and cool, a new reality.
Right?
You got to see our promo picture that we made for the.
Oh,
for this
yeah.
one.
Yeah, make sure you
Desiree
get a chance
really
to
liked
look
it.
at
I
that.
did. I saw that. I showed my wife Becky. She liked it very much.
Oh,
It was
Really?
it's so cool. For
Dave
sure.
gets ideas, and he's like,
Well,
I have to
I
do this.
spent
Yeah.
hours on one and then threw that away and then did this one.
Oh
Took
my
another
God.
hour or so. Yeah. I can't make like a oil painting work right with real faces. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. He gets something in his head, and he's like, I'm going to make it work. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Thank
Alrighty,
you.
well, thank you very much, kids. Have a great night. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you for coming back.
Keep up the good work. Yeah,
You
yeah,
too.
yeah. And if you could give me some solid stats on what Liberty Meme community has put out and how many people they've helped, and maybe some good stories,
Definitely.
I would be way happy to. I would like to be able to share that information with people so that they're aware of this project.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It
Honestly,
continues
because
to impress me.
they have, David Gay has kept track, of things, and and the stories are amazing. So we will definitely get those to you so you can share that. Thank you for sharing that. Just that people will help people. We don't need to rely on the government. Mm-hmm.
Liberty Memes is sort of my go-to because occasionally some people come my way and need some help and
Yeah.
boom.
Thanks, Jack Pickle.
Beautiful.
I love that,
All
Jack
right,
Pickle.
well, continue your quarantine.
Yes, you too.
And you guys are just beautiful people, and loving you, and keep up the good work. And it was nice spending some time together.
It was.
We feel the same about you. Thank
all
you.
right.
We look forward to your live streams by the
I'll see you tomorrow.
the streams.
All right, wonderful. I will shout out and say hello, and I'll have to start thinking about where I might take you all tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait.
There's so many beautiful places. This quarantine could go on forever, and I won't run out of places to show you.
Well, yeah, you're in New England. That's
Yeah,
like
New
the
England is
capital of beautiful
gorgeous.
places.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look
All
forward to it. Thank you, Vermin. Have fun going through all the
Thank you
comments
very
here.
much. I haven't used this thing so long, so I don't know how to even turn it off.
Hi.
It's okay.
Good night.
Dave will do it. Love you.
Okay, with a hang up logo. All right,
Thanks.
love you. Peace
Bye.
out. This camera.
Oh,
that
that's
was
a great
supposed to go
picture.
away.
That was a great
Oh, I
picture.
brought it back again.
I love
Go
it.
away.
No, I love it. The piece. We should do a piece and somebody take a screenshot.
Can't operate my own equipment here.
Oh, that was fun. Wow, that went by so fast. I feel like we just got down here and we're chatting with him. He read us stories from his book. Everybody go, I want the book. Let's go get the book.
Yeah. I feel bad that we didn't get it last time.
I feel like it's so...
But yeah,
it even
everything.
seems even more real now because
Yeah,
of
it's
what's
weird.
going on. It's going to be the new 1984. Oh gosh. Thank you, Desiree, for connecting with us. Thank you.
Check out Gondor Calls for Memes.
Thank you, Vermin, for being on again. This was so great.
Yeah.
You're welcome back anytime. Absolutely. I love you guys. This was great. Thanks for hanging out. What a great show. Great turnout.
Yeah. Great
Vermin's
comments.
fans
Everybody's
are...
pretty nice. Like, overwhelmingly nice.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get one or two people that come and go that are just saying a few things here or there, but, that's part of life.
Friggin' Hatch.
Hatchy. No, I'm just
Looking at you.
looking at you. I know, John, right? This has been a crazy week.
It has.
Woo. Yikes. I need a...
We got to take it easy for like the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And
Just the
hope
next-
that people forget about us.
next couple days for myself, like all this has been a lot of social interacting for me, like 2 days in a row with this, so this is way better than Tiger King.
I think both of our about to pop.
I have to pee. So for the folks who are a part of Liberty Memes Patreon group, we're going to be doing a live stream in there,
we'll
a little
come back.
after party.
Yeah, little after party.
Give us about like 10 minutes or so, get a snack and stuff. Bo. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Bo.
Oh, yeah, you're
no,
cool,
this Bo got the shout out that Vermin likes. No, but he said
likes your name?
I like his name.
I'll get you the clip.
And honestly, if he were to see what you do, he'd be like, "Oh hell yeah," because Bo writes a meme lord, So.
Our public broadcasts are usually Friday night, 9:30 Eastern. Every week. We haven't missed one in almost 2 years since we started doing it. It kind of became a thing. Now I'm afraid to miss one. You know.
Yeah, I think one time we moved it to a Saturday
Yeah,
just
'cause
because
you
I
were
had an
sick or
ear
something.
infection. So, yeah, every Friday night we're out in the wild. Check out
Yeah.
Liberty Late Night on YouTube, Facebook. Give us a like,
You can
ring
find
the
us
bells.
on Twitch,
Mixer, all that
even
stuff.
Periscope,
yeah. Thanks,
where I
Jar
don't think
Pickle.
we've ever gotten a view on
Love you,
Periscope,
Ariana.
but still I stream there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Celeste. Dave, I told him. I messaged him that, so I'm just gonna get on Dave about that tomorrow. So.
Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Thank
you've been
you.
here for a while and you enjoy what we do, we have a Patreon, Liberty Late Night, Patreon.com/Liberty Late Night. You'll see it at the end of the outro if you hang out that long. Yeah, we're on Twixer and Meriscope and
Meriscope. And what's the other one?
Twicker. I don't know.
It
You can find us even on Facebook.
Yeah, we're even on
MySpace,
Facebook.
if you guys are on
No, we're not
MySpace,
on MySpace anymore.
We still do Yahoo.
What? Okay, we gotta pee.
America Online. If you
Oh, yeah,
got the
AOL, guys.
AOL Live.
Oh, yeah. No, Dave will probably have.
AOL Live is hot right now.
Are you gonna do a YouTube for a private YouTube for the
Yeah, I'll
after
hook
party?
something up.
Okay.
Google Plus.
Yeah, Ariane, don't be sad.
I don't think we're on
Yeah. Hey, Jack. Oh my goodness.
there. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you guys. We love you so much.
Thanks, Hopes, for subscribe. All right, I gotta end this because
I
literally
don't want to
gonna
pee
die.
in this chair. So have a good night.
That
We'll
was
see you
so
next
much
Friday. Don't forget to check out our interview from yesterday. Go to our
we
Facebook
had
page
John
or
McAfee on last night
or
or
our
yesterday.
YouTube page. You can go there and check out that interview. If you didn't see the whole one today, it's going to be there. So give it a look-sees. There's a bunch of stuff to check out.
Yeah. Good night.
Love you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
I don't like your T-Series. Nothing personal, kid. But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series. I'm here to spill the real tea. You're trying to dethrone me from spot on number one, but you India, you lose. So best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done. Cause we only just begun. I review you. Zero vibe is gone. So come on, T-Series. Looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. So who the hell is Bob and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 90 rolls of worlds to hold your defecation. Oops, multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now down all of the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just wet in their pajama. Bitch lasagna, bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most your videos can't seem to hit even a million. Sabot!
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. It's potty training time, will be so much fun. I help you with your training pants, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her Magic Potty. No water, no mess. Batteries not included.